Ooh, I like that intro video.
We're back, baby. We're back.
All three back together, the whole team.
That's right. What's going on, guys? Happy Friday.
What's happening with you? Why are we so blessed to have your presence this Friday?
Because my back is all screwed up, so I
Can your
had this
back
whole
always
week
be
off.
screwed up?
Yeah, man. I'll take every Friday off just for you.
I would like to say hello to Sonny and Papa Willie.
How you doing, Spooky? What's up, Spooky?
I'm doing
you
good.
guys?
How you guys doing?
Good. Good.
Yeah,
All
man.
good over here. It's nice and cool now. We're not cooking.
Yeah, the weather's changing finally. We're getting some cool weather. I'm in a hoodie again.
Sweet.
Everything's
Hey, Chad, I
going
heard we
back
got
to
a
where-
killer guest.
Hey, we do have an awesome guest, Spooky. His name's Shane. He's a father of two from Michigan. He's currently hosting 3 paranormal shows, as well as operating
Whoa.
the Open Minds Media community. We're going to talk to him today about some of his cryptid experiences too. He's got some experiences, Spooky. He doesn't.
I want to hear all about his. I want to hear all about his passions.
Well, let's bring him up and we'll find out what he's got going on. Please welcome to the Paranormal Chop Shop. What's up, Shane? How's it going, dude?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
All right, what's up,
Going
man?
Get
good.
here, man.
Seems like I came in on a good day that you're all here, right?
That's right.
This doesn't happen all the time. It's pretty rare.
That's right. It's going to be a good show. So, how's your day going so far, man?
Not too bad, man. I worked all day, hopped on, did an episode of my other show that I just started up. First episode dropped today, but we just recorded the fourth episode now, which is Bizarre Encounters. But other than that, just been chilling around the house and looking forward to doing the show tonight.
Right on.
Nice,
You want
dude.
to tell us a little bit about your show and what you're all about on there?
Yeah.
What you guys do?
So I guess I'll start with my first show that I initially started, which kind of got me rolling in podcasting. My main, I'm trying not to say main show now because I'm trying to kind of treat both shows equally. But Inquiries of Our Reality was my original one. The whole idea with that is that I'm a very inquisitive person about a lot of different things in our reality. So it's not just specifically one topic. It kind of ranges. So sometimes there's occult ones, sometimes there's alien stuff, sometimes there's paranormal, sometimes there's cryptids. Just kind of any alternative topic that I feel like getting into an open conversation with somebody about. That's pretty much what that show is. And then just from that, I enjoy doing that, but I wanted to do something with a bit more structure. So then I started moving into this other little. It's more like a sideshow. It's kind of like a swap cast that I do with my friend Kyle Rainey from the Big Dumb podcast. It's called Big Dumb Inquiries. We like mashed our names together and started doing this thing where we pretty much will bring in 3 clips. I'll bring one. We'll have a guest, and then he'll bring one, and then we'll have like a conversation about it, depending on like whatever the clip is, and we'll set up like context for it. So we get kind of wild on that show, just talking about the most random stuff, and kind of keeping it incorporated with clips. My newest show that I'm just starting up, like I said, the first episode dropped today. We recorded 4. It's going to be coming out every Thursday, but we're recording every Friday. It's called Bizarre Encounters. That's going to focus on cryptids, aliens, paranormal, all that kind of fun stuff, all the different creatures and beings and stuff. So I have high hopes for that show, so I'm really hoping it turns out good. We did the first, I want to say solo episode that didn't have a guest on today. And the theme of it was land, air, and sea hominoids, however you say that. So we did Mantis Man, we did Bat Squatch, and then we did Ninjin. So hopefully that one turns out good. I thought it turned out pretty good. And I got a lot of really cool ideas coming in the future for different types of cryptid lists, things like that. Like I want to start doing a segment that's called Alien or Cryptid, and we'll discuss things like Mantis Man, for example, the Dover Demon, Lizard Man kind of things, and just kind of weigh both ways and decide whether or not it's an alien or a cryptid. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming that way as far as that goes. And then the community that I do is called Open Minds Media. The idea with that is it's supposed to be kind of like a hangout spot / help area, I guess you could say. So we have like the creator side of it, which would be, help questions, things like that, just podcasters going back and forth about normal stuff. But it's not just podcasters. It's anybody that's like a creator. So we got some paranormal researchers in there, some cryptid hunters, some authors, all that kind of fun stuff. And then we also do featured creator, which is every week I'll post an episode of a show with like a 10-question bio about, whatever the creator is that week to kind of give people like a feel for them. And then we have like a feed where it's just different episodes of a bunch of different people's shows. And the idea is that people are trying to find new shows. They can go on there, kind of have like a list to kind of feed through and check everything out. And then I'm trying to build up like a listener side to that, so it doesn't just incorporate creators, but also listeners. So I'm still kind of figuring out the little things here and there, but set up like a Discord where it's like a bunch of listener topics to discuss and things. There's a little area at the bottom that says Ask A, and then there's Ask a Podcaster, Ask a Researcher, Ask a whatever. And the idea is that if people are interested in getting into this kind of stuff, but they don't know where to start, they kind of have a way to direct connect and at least ask their basic questions to kind of get rolling on whatever they happen to want to do. And then hopefully they can move over to the creator side. But it's all building. Everything's all kind of in the works, but having fun while I'm doing it, man. That's all that matters.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, dude. That sounds helpful, especially for I have a hard time just with Discord.
Dude, I had a hard enough time trying to figure that out. I was kind of forced to figure it out just because I was trying to set up those servers.
Are you also into art too? I see all the art behind you that looks pretty sweet.
I don't do it myself, but I am into collecting different people's art. This stuff in particular was just stuff that my girlfriend bought for me, but in my bedroom, where's my other like podcast area setups at, because I alternate because I got a family. So when they're all in bed, I'm out here. And then when they're all awake during the day, then I'm hidden in the bedroom. In the bedroom, I got all my like art that's done by people that I've had on the show. I don't know. I got more of my podcaster oriented things in there. Like I got this really cool, like 2 of them. I got 2 busts of 2 different Sasquatches that this one lady makes. And I got them at Bigfoot and Brews, which is this little event that Eric from Uncomfortable put on not too long ago in Michigan. It's pretty sweet.
That sounds like a fun time. Bigfoot and Brews.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. At a brewery, you're just chilling, listening. Actually, Ron Moorhead came. That was pretty sweet. And you just got to like listen to people talk about Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and drink beer. It's pretty awesome. Honestly.
Man, that's some of my favorite things.
That sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah, Spooky sold on it already.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Too
it's
bad
a
you're on the opposite
tour.
side of the country.
I know. But we got Bigfoot over here.
True. Yeah, man, he's everywhere. Well, not one
Exactly.
particular him, but they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it's like a tour, Bigfoot and Brews tour, man.
That one isn't the correct one.
Oh, this is not the correct one. Redmond,
yeah.
Oregon.
Look up Bigfoot and Brew, Michigan, and it'll have like a UC for Uncomfortable. That's the dude's logo. He's putting it on again next year. So if anybody thinks that sounds cool, around this same time next year, it should be going on again because this year was the first year. So
Nice. Well, yeah, I'm up here in Michigan too. I'm about an hour west of Detroit, so I definitely have to check that out.
yeah, we'll have to talk after the show, man, because I'm trying to like connect with people that are in Michigan because I had a while there where I've been started my show back in May, and I didn't find anybody from Michigan. Then all of a sudden, in the past like month and a half, there's like random people that keep popping up. Like I talked to Sean from Kill the Mockingbirds at Bigfoot and Brew and figured out that he's in Clinton Township, which is literally like 20 minutes, half hour for me tops. Like,
Yeah, that's
How
pretty
about,
sweet.
Isn't it Bigfoot, Michigan Rob?
Yep. Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, BMR. He's in Michigan. He's in like Allen Park area, I think.
getting starting to get closer to Metro Detroit because I would say Eric from Uncomfortable, he's kind of like on the border, you know, where I figured everybody was kind of on the lower side. And then Cryptids of the Corn, who I talk to frequently, they're like right in Ohio, but they're not too far. So
I love the names.
hey, man, they got some creative names.
Cryptids of the Corn.
He had a Bigfoot experience where basically it was like terrorizing his family farm. So he picked a name to incorporate that. So like I figured that it was like a reference to, you know, Children of the Corn, but no, it was supposed to be a
absolutely.
reference to just his experiences, but still pretty cool name though.
Oh, wow. So what's your favorite cryptid out of all of them?
Well,
You
that's kind of
Bigfoot?
a toss-up one, actually. Like, I like to look into Bigfoot and Sasquatch frequently, but me personally, I've had an experience with a Wendigo, so I have a huge fascination with Wendigo. But the thing with Wendigo is that, like, I fully believe that the whole image that you have of them with the deer head, all that kind of stuff, is completely wrong, and it's just been altered as, you know, stories change and everything splits up. So
Yeah.
just off of that, because I feel like it has a lot of confusion around it. Like I found a lot of interest in like Wendigo and all the, like, I guess you could say ones that are linked to like Native American folklore as far as like America goes, just because I feel like they have the most validity in them. That's again why I kind of get into Sasquatch and stuff. But I also have Native American heritage, so that also plays into that.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Spooky, and I think everyone except for me on panel has some Native American heritage.
That we know of. You may.
Dude, I thought I did, and I asked my aunt. She's super into that genealogy stuff. You know, she's a member of all the websites and has all that stuff written down over there. And she claims that I don't really have any Native American going on with me. So
I feel like if you're white and you live in America, at some point in your lineage, there was more than likely some Native American person, even if it isn't like it's
gotta be in
probably
there
far enough
somewhere.
back, that you don't really have the percentage, but it's probably in there somewhere.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, well, it's got to be in there somewhere. You know?
Just probably so small, or she didn't follow
Yeah.
the right like family line. Like I don't know if she followed like your mom's side, but maybe not your dad's side. Like who knows, man?
Right.
Yeah, me and this guy here, we're cousins. Our granny was full-blooded Indian.
Oh wow.
So you're the
Oh,
same
yes,
boat
you
as me
guys
then.
are.
My grandma was 100%. My dad's 50, which makes me 25.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. For me, my granny on one side was 100% Indian, and then on the other side, it's 100% Italian.
It kind of sucks when you get that mix though, because it's like you want to get into like a certain heritage, but you almost feel like you can't because you're just gonna be that typical white dude that's like, oh, I'm 1/24% Cherokee, and they're wearing like the headdress and all that shit.
There you go. I rock my medicine bag. I never take this off though. It's something that's always on me.
It's funny you mentioned that because I have a medicine bag. I leave it above my bed though, but my grandma made it for me, and it has her ashes, my grandpa's ashes in it. So again, connecting with that Native American heritage, I feel like anybody that's
cool.
like true to it has a medicine bag somewhere.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, my buddy's ashes, a little bit of his ashes are in here.
Yeah, same stuff going on. Stuff that brings you strength. For anybody that's not familiar with what like a medicine bag's supposed to be, you're supposed to collect things that give you strength and like put them in the bag. Essentially, is the idea.
And
Mhm.
yeah, and usually they're blessed by a medicine man too. That'd
Yep.
be like, yeah.
And my grandma she used to go to powwows, all that kind of stuff. She was part of the Red Clay tribe in Georgia, which is Cherokee. So I'm sure that if she made all that kind of stuff herself, she used to make dream catchers, all that fun stuff. So I'm sure that when she went down to a powwow, she more than likely got it blessed. So it probably is like an actual medicine bag. She was super
Oh, yeah.
particular about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sounds like that's about as legit as you can get.
Part of the reason I have locks is because my grandma was very into the whole like if you cut your hair, it's your strength. You're not supposed to cut your hair. So my dad had super long hair, and then he was a teenager. He snuck out one night. He got it cut. My grandma pretty much said that she was crying over it. My dad was kind of giggling about it and stuff. But when she passed away, it was something I wanted to do for a long time, and just my parents weren't okay with it. So once I became an adult, all that kind of stuff, I started locking my hair. So that's honestly linked to like my Native American heritage too, and just stuff my grandma used to tell me when I was a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. So you said that you had a Wendigo experience. Would you be interested in sharing some of that with us?
Actually, there's two stories connected to this because it's both the two things that happen at the same location, but two separate times. But not a Wendigo. The other person's like a shadow person experience. But I'll get into sharing both of them with you. So you're not too far in Michigan. Have you ever heard of Northville Psychiatric Hospital?
No,
Never
I've heard of
that one?
Northville, but no.
So Northville Psychiatric Hospital, there's a lot of like weirdness that goes with it, like a lot of like mistreatment of patients, things like that. So it's like a paranormal location to begin with. They actually tore it down semi recently, but I'll get into that as the story kind of progresses. So when we first figured out about this place, there's multiple buildings. There's like the main hospital, there's like dorms, there's like gym areas, and it's all just on this big campus type land. And then weirdly enough, there's a police station directly next door. But we used to go to this place like every other weekend, urban exploring. We got to the point where we like had this place mapped out. We knew every building. We'd watch people get arrested while we're sitting up on the roof and stuff because we knew like where to hide, where to go. You'd see where not to park because everybody thought you could sneak in and hide in this little cutout behind the building. And the cops, of course, would know that's the first place to go look. So we wouldn't even park anywhere near that. And we'd walk our way in and we just watch people where the cops would be sitting on their car pretty much waiting for them to get back and be like, all right.
Right.
So we got, again, to the point where we like knew this place by the back of our hand. And then we decided to kind of explore more. So there's the Northville tunnels, which are supposed to go completely. Yep. That's the main building right there. That was the roof we'd stand on. And for any of the people that are looking, the shorter area, right in between that where the taller building starts, is where that little cutout parking lot is at, and that's where everybody would try to park at. If you guys have ever heard of the movie It Follows, it was actually filmed in this parking lot, but behind the building, where you can kind of see like the other parking lot.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, we got to the point where we had this place mapped out, so we started to try to expand more. So there's the Northville tunnels, which are supposed to go completely under Northville. They were abandoned a long time ago, and it's just like a tunnel system that goes underneath the building. So normally we wouldn't venture down there just because it's pitch black, no light, so you have to make sure you got adequate enough batteries, flashlights, all that kind of fun stuff. So one night we decided to go down there. So we go down into kind of the main area, down where you first go down the main stairs, and there's like a wall, and it looks like not like somebody knocked it out personally, but almost like a construction team like took a chunk out of the wall because the bricks were like kind of perfectly like taken out at the seam and kind of just made a big hole in the wall.
Yeah.
So it gets really cold down there, first of all, which is also kind of weird. A lot of like occult paintings, drawings, whether people know what they're doing or not, all over the basement, just weird stuff, just weird energy coming from down there.
Yeah.
So I go down into that first area where I told you there was that little cutout in the wall, and I step into that room. And as I step into that room, I hear a whisper in my ear that says, "Run." And as I hear that, I'm looking forward, and there's like this metal girty, like, those like hospital carts like they have in the hallway.
Yeah.
And this thing stands up. And as I can only see the back of it as it's standing up. It's tall and lanky. The skin color almost reminds me of like somebody that's never been in the sun or been in a cave for like their entire life, like that decaying kind of skin color.
Mm-hmm.
And it has long, black, greasy hair on the top of its head, like not all over its body, but just on the top of its head. So I see that. I'm not taking any more chances. I'm out of there. I'm with my girlfriend and her friend, and I don't even know if they saw it for sure, but I just start running. They start chasing after me. My girlfriend's taking pictures behind her and stuff, and I'm just trying to get out of there. So me trying to figure out what this thing is, I start looking on the internet, and most definitions that I came up with say that it's a rake. So I recently was talking to Justin from Cryptids of the Corn, and he was talking about how rakes are basically folklore that's been like twisted and basically created on the internet. Like it's not from anything solid. And pretty much that the idea of what people have as a Wendigo has also been manipulated, where it has like the deer head, all of that kind of stuff. It doesn't actually look like that. It would look like, if you look up a rake, that's what by definition a Wendigo would look like. It's a tortured person who resorted to cannibalism and started becoming like a creature essentially. Yeah. And it goes back into like Native American legend, all that kind of stuff. And they supposedly can shapeshift into animals, and that's kind of where that other like folklore kind of comes into it with the like deer horns, and it's just kind of been changed and manipulated. So I started digging into this, trying to figure out what it was, and then I started looking into Northville in particular and figured out that there was a bunch of Native American artifacts found in this area. So there's that link made to it. And when I was talking to Justin, he was talking about how there's still some type of like normal human soul within a Wendigo, like, and then the primal urge part takes over, and that's when they like attack people, and that's where all like the legends come in with it. So he was saying that he believes that the reason why I had that warning that said to run was the Wendigo itself, or the soul that was inside of it that was still man telling me to run. And his theory is that the only reason that I was able to get away from it and I actually had that warning is because I have Native American heritage, and this thing may have felt a connection with me. So going into just more with this thing being possibly in this area, I was up on the roof one day and I was looking down and I saw this big cat, and I was like, that's a fucking cougar. Like, why is there a cougar in Northville? And it just didn't make sense to me. I didn't rationalize it or anything. So I started looking it up. And if you look it up, there's literally sightings of a cougar that were happening in Northville around the same time in 2018, but nobody was ever able to get a picture to confirm it. So there's a lot of woods around that area. So my theory on it is that since that's something that isn't native there, nobody's seen it, they haven't found a body of it, anything like that, it could have possibly been this Wendigo. And it would also make sense that it was in the basement where it was extremely cold, because the general idea with Wendigo is that they come during the winter, and the Native Americans believe that from the first snowfall to the last snowfall, you're not safe. So they wouldn't go into certain areas during this time because that's when they come, because they're like a decaying flesh almost is kind of the idea behind it. So if they're out in heat, they'll start to decompose more. So there's a, they would normally bury themselves. There's a bunch of different legends where they might go into caves, different things like that, just cold areas to try to like preserve themselves. So just going off of that idea, it would make sense why it was in this basement area, because with the tunnels, there's miles of abandoned tunnels that anything could hide. And it was a good, probably like 20-degree difference jumping into that basement. So by all the categories, that's kind of like the impression that I got. And I'll have to send it to you guys after the show. But my girlfriend was taking pictures as we were going away, and it's kind of translucent looking going through it, but you can see the shape of exactly what I was describing with the white skin, white face, long black hair. Like, it was creepy as shit, man. But I guess before I hop into the other story, is there anything you guys want to talk about as far as that story goes?
Oh no, I was just gonna pull this up. I just searched Wendigo, and this is like the image that one of the images that pops up first. And you said, wintertime, so this one does kind of look like it's in the winter, but does this have any resemblance to what you saw?
Look up rake.
Rake?
Like R-A-K-E.
R-A-K-E.
Because like I said, the folklore is kind of mixed because the internet tends to do that. There's a lot of like cryptids that are very close, similar, the same, and then there's like a whole other like internet aspect that's not actually real that kind of like takes over control of like a cryptid, because the internet is primarily where people are looking this stuff up. That is by definition what a Wendigo would be, and this is something that people mix up as a skinwalker. Now, going into that, Wendigos and skinwalkers are very closely related. They both come from a Native American legend, of course. They both do very similar things, but the difference between them is that one, the Wendigo is somebody that was basically forced into cannibalism, and they're a tortured soul, so they have no control over it. It's more of like a primal thing. Ooh. Where when you get into skinwalkers, they do a lot of the same things, but they have to do things in order to get that. So essentially they have more control over it. They would be almost like the medicine men, or whatever you want to call them, like the shaman type people would be the ones that would become skinwalkers, because one of the things you supposedly have to do to become a skinwalker is kill a very close family member, which would be like brother, sister, mother, father. So they go into it fully intending and knowing what they're trying to do. So that kind of gives them the power over it, versus like a Wendigo would be somebody that, again, resorted to cannibalism, and they start taking on this, gross, grotesque thing from being a cannibal, which again, kind of, I feel like part of it, the legend to it, maybe because they were trying to scare people away from cannibalism during the winter. But there's still a lot of sightings, so it's kind of like a mixed bag of like what came first, the story to scare people away from eating people during the winter, or this creature that you supposedly become when you eat people during the winter.
Either way, sounds like they're really trying to avoid people eating other people in the wintertime.
Yeah, honestly.
Just trying to figure out how to get people to stop eating other people.
You're going to get mad cow disease, bruh. You're going to turn into a Wendigo.
Oh my God, Matt. Yeah, Matt says, I'm a cannibal. I always eat spooky. Jeez. Good Lord have mercy.
He likes it spicy.
He does. That Mexican chorizo.
Hey, by
you know that's Mexican sausage, right?
Yeah. I learned that here on the podcast, unfortunately.
Okay.
In a way, wouldn't any guy be a cannibal?
Ooh, if you want to really break it down. But yeah, dude, if I saw this guy coming at me in the woods, it'd be my last day, I think. That thing is creepy.
Dude, that's, again, one of those, like, somebody took this image and then they started creating a myth around it, and that's where the whole rake came from, was from this image.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's creepy as hell.
I didn't see the eyes. I didn't see the face at all. So imagine seeing this tall, lanky thing from the back with long, black, greasy, scraggly hair, dude. It was one of those images that'll permanently be burned into my head forever.
Yep, I can see that. Spooky is my mucho chorizo.
I'm best with a little guacamole, but of course, guacamole's extra.
Guacamole is extra. Man, there's some other creepy pictures of the same thing, but most of them are that same exact stance. But there's some other pictures on here. It almost looks like they just took that same picture of that one dude and put him in some other scenes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like the internet is hard because it's like you can get some solid pictures, but
Yeah.
because of the fact that people can edit so much, even if you have like say a picture of Bigfoot giving you a thumbs up, like nobody's gonna believe it, even if it's 100% authentic picture, because there's just so
Yep.
much you can do with editing now, you know?
Yep. Yeah, like this picture right here. I mean, oh, Spooky, you're muted.
Just waving his arms. What's happening?
You're just waving your arms around, bro.
Start doing sign language.
I was
Not
gonna
gangsters.
say, and before that stupid mistake, was that it's so futile for people to be arguing over all these videos and pictures of UFOs and cryptids and shit. You can't even tell what's real or fake anymore. So how can you be that serious about anything?
Right. Yep. Some people really go to their grave with.
Oh, some people are fighting till the death.
Look at that dude. That guy's got some back issues.
See, that one would be what I'd more so call like a skinwalker. Just because of like the method in which it's walking, it seems like it has like more control into like what it would be shifting or changing into.
Oh, okay. That
Because like
makes sense.
images like this, I almost take it as like an in-between photo of like them in the process of like transitioning. Because they would normally walk upright, you know, like just like the rake, or not rake, but the Wendigo would. But like these kind of pictures look like they're in the process of like turning into the four-legged animal that they want to become. Because kind of like the idea that goes with the skinwalkers, it's kind of mixed up in the air depending on who you ask. But either one, they have to have DNA from something, which means they could take a piece of hair, whatever, and they could turn into it. Or two, they physically have to have the skin from it. Going into like the more, I guess, biblical definition of the skinwalker, because it is referenced in the Bible if you look into Nimrod, for anybody that hasn't gotten into that whole stuff. It's more so talks about the whole like aspect of wearing skin and like becoming one with that thing that you wear the skin of. And that's kind of
Ooh.
where that like shamanism kind of thing comes into like the skinwalker versus like the Wendigo.
Man, that's creepy, Spooky. I just got an image of Matt putting on our skin after we pass.
Oh, yeah, he would do it.
Who do I want to be today? Oh, let's see. What can be Spooky Morales?
You want to hear some creepier stuff? Supposedly Nimrod's first skin that he wore was of Adam.
Wait,
Whoa.
as in Adam?
Yeah, like Adam and Eve Adam.
What? No, that's a bizarre story. That's different from your normal biblical story that you hear at your bedside.
If anybody wants to dig into that, I have a episode with Robbie Marks. He's spent a lot of time digging into that, so he has all the information for that one. I'm just kind of paraphrasing, but if you want to dig into that one, look up Robbie Marks because he's been on New York Patriot Show and he's been on my show. He may have been on a couple other ones, but he's dug pretty damn deep into the whole Nimrod skinwalker concept.
Wow, that is fascinating.
It's one of those
Never
store
heard-
in the back of your mind for later, just weird references, you know? Like it doesn't use the word skinwalker, but just like the whole idea of like wearing somebody else's skin to like become more like them is exactly skinwalker like.
Oh man, that's what horror movies are made out of, right there.
I would love for Shane to see some of the petroglyphs that Carl shows us.
Hmm.
I would
Especially
love
the
to see
ones
this.
especially the ones that look like creatures or, beings that we can't make out and tell what they are.
Well, I'll have to
Over
pull some
there,
of those up, man.
Shane, our buddy, is in southern Utah, and he goes and he looks at all the petroglyphs on the rocks formations and mountains there in that area. It's very close to Blind Frog Ranch and some of these places you see on TV.
Oh, little
Yeah.
fun fact for you. The guy who owns, I don't want to get you guys in trouble, but let's just say SWR, which is the
Yeah.
big spot for skinwalkers. He's been
Yeah.
going around trying to sue people for saying the name of the ranch. So just a heads up for you guys. Like
What?
everybody's been avoiding saying the name of the ranch, so they started calling it, SW Ranch or
Is that why
SWR.
he's calling this Mount Wilson Ranch?
Yeah,
Spooky?
honestly.
I don't know. That's
mean-
a very good question for when we have Carl back.
Yeah, we're actually going to have Carl on again. But yeah, that's
Breaking news.
breaking news. Carl the Crusher coming back to Chad Smith Podcast.
Wicked.
But yeah, I'm
Not
trying
getting
to.
sued for using the wrong terminology.
Yeah, that's the thing is, Carl's he's got access to that ranch, so
I mean,
I
by
would
that, he may
assume.
even have permission to use the name, but I think
Oh,
they're trying to
he
avoid
he
people just
he.
starting speculation over it.
Oh yeah,
Right.
he definitely knows the ins and outs of how to handle that legal stuff with them.
Yeah.
Talk about weird, though. All the stuff that has to do with that said ranch. Again, New York Patriot, you'll have to dig into him too on it, but it's all linked to a lot of like Mormonism. So kind of he did like a 5-part series and linked that almost everybody involved with it is linked with Mormonism. And then he was talking about how there's a bunch of different like occult things hidden within Mormonism, and he thinks that they're trying to do something there, that's like some kind of hidden biblical thing.
That's some of the stuff that Ryan was talking about on his last podcast too, on Bledsoe Said So. They were talking about the Mormons and how it tied into his story about his father with the lady. Chad, you got to check that out. The latest episode of the Bledsoe Said So, man, if you haven't seen it.
I have not seen that one. Nope.
It's a very good one. Hey, Shane, I'm sorry to interrupt. Our good buddy, Brown Dwarf, is asking if you know anything about the Cherokee stories about Cherokee little people.
I think I've heard them in passing before. Most of them seem to come back to the whole aspect of their little mischievous beings that mess with things at night. They move things around. They do a bunch of different things. And it's kind of like one of those things that travels across continents, that almost every continent has some type of story about little beings that mess with you at night, steal stuff, take stuff. Some of them even expand to like trying to lure people off into the woods by making sounds, different things like that. And not so much with the Cherokee aspect. I have to dig into it a little bit more, considering that they didn't sleep on like beds like that. They would sleep on like things on the ground. But a lot of the other traditions that have to do with like little people concept, they talk about how they would put like their beds on like stilts to keep them higher up away from them at night, so they couldn't get to them when they were messing with stuff on the ground and on the floor.
Wow.
But I'll have to dig into that one. So thank you to the listener for bringing that one up, because now I got something to dig into after the show.
Absolutely, man. Hey, so if anybody in the chat room, I mean, Shane is just full of stories and knowledge. If anybody in the chat room has some questions for Shane, if you could, please try to put the questions in all caps, all capital letters, so that way it kind of highlights it. We can make sure we don't miss it.
I feel like you're yelling at me.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it now.
Stop yelling at us.
Just do it.
Dude,
All right, Shane,
Shane,
here's-
you're gonna get some subscribers from this chat room because you are amazing, dude. Who wouldn't want to hear what you know?
Well, I
Absolutely.
appreciate that, man. I'm always like one of
Heck
those
yeah.
people that's like, not comfortable in my abilities, but once I start rolling, like, I figure out I'm better off than I thought I was, kind of a thing. So I really hope everybody's enjoying it.
I think that we followed each other on Instagram today. If everybody wants to also check out, am I right, Sean? Shane, that you have an Instagram?
Yep. Instagram
Yeah.
or all my different things that I do. I got a personal one for Inquiries of Our Reality, one for Bizarre Encounters, and one for Open Minds Media.
Bizarre
I'm not
encounters.
sure exactly which one I followed, but I think it was Bizarre Encounters. But
I think you followed my main page, and then I followed you on Bizarre Encounters. So at least we already covered those two.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, as long as you're connected in one way, then you can always kind of check out, everything else you're doing.
Yeah, and if anybody ever wants to come check out the stuff I got going on too, like you had all my link trees posted, I kind of have them all connected. So, if you click on the Inquiries of Our Reality one, you'll find the Bizarre Encounters and vice versa. And then you'll find my
sweet.
feeds, my social media, little merch stores, all that fun stuff. So if anybody wants to come find me, just look up my link trees and you'll be able to find everything else from there.
Yep.
And Shane, I know you gave us the story of the couple story of the Wendigos, but as far as like, a lot of times people that deal with cryptids and paranormal, aliens, all that stuff, there was something in their life that sparked their interest in these topics. What happened early on in your life that made you so interested in these, different things that we talk about?
So I guess I'll give you the shortened version so that I can tell you about my other story. But that other story connects with the location of the Wendigo story, and it also connects with kind of like this life journey story. But I'll say that there's a sad part in it, but it doesn't end sad. So when we get to that part, you'll know what it is, but it has a happier ending when we get to it. So just paraphrasing, trying to do this in the quickest way of describing it as possible. As a kid, I used to astral project without realizing what I was doing. It started at a really young age. I assume like your first memories are usually around like 3 or 4. So I'm assuming it at least started then, maybe even earlier. And I always knew it would happen because I would get sleep paralysis directly after. But when I did it, it wasn't like I really went far most of the time. I just would be like outside of myself, seeing myself sleep, just weird things like that. And I just always tried to like understand it. And as a kid, it was more like I always felt like something was watching me, but not in like a bad way. It was more like a curious way, just trying to see like what I would do, what was going on. When I moved into like my teenage years, be it just negative energy from just being an angsty teenager. That's when I started having the same experiences. But when I had the sleep paralysis, I would start seeing shadow people. And they never came close to me. They never sat on my chest or anything like that. They always stayed like off in the distance. But there was one with green eyes in particular that I used to see all the time that used to pop up. But again, it never really got like close to me or anything like that. But so I would always have these experiences with just not really going too far from my body. And this one particular time, I thought it was a dream when I first experienced it, but pretty much I went to this place that was in the middle of space. It was like a purple, being like inside of like a purple nebula, but you weren't really like floating or standing. You're just kind of like existing within it. And I was like, all right, this is weird. And then I woke up, I had sleep paralysis, and then I was like, all right, did I go somewhere or did I just have a dream? So going into it being a little bit older, when I was like 18, 19, that kind of area, I stopped remembering my dreams. Like I would still get sleep paralysis, but I wouldn't remember the dreams at all. So I'm cutting some other parts out. So I'll save the rest of my like full experiences for if I come on here another time. But for at least this story, my girlfriend and I were trying to have, we had our first kid, who she's about to be 7 now. And we were trying to have a son afterwards, and he's about to be 1 coming up in December. But when we were in the process of trying, she got pregnant. She was eight weeks. They figured I didn't have a heartbeat. So she ended up having to get like a DNC and stuff. So it was kind of like a hard time going through.
Yeah, sorry to
all
hear
that.
that, man.
But I mean, ended up with a son out of it in the end. So at least like this is the sad part I was kind of telling you about.
Yeah.
But after this happened, I had a dream where or whatever you want to call it, astro projected to that same place that I saw earlier. That was like that purple nebula in the middle of space. And I saw a little boy that looked like me, probably about 6 or so. And he pretty much said, that wasn't a good one. I'll see you on the next one. And come to find out a couple weeks later, she's pregnant. And then a couple of weeks after that, I figure out I'm having a son. So it's one of those things that I like keep in my head forever so that when he gets to that age, I can either confirm or deny it. But where I'm at right now, like he's looking like me. So it seems like it's starting to push in that direction. So just being part of that whole world kind of is what sparked my interest in everything. But I guess like my base original encounters would have been with like shadow people though. And I've always had like a connection to shadow people in the aspect of like, I'm probably going to see some later because every single time I bring them up in conversation, I'll start seeing weird stuff off in the distance. Like I think they're one of those things that like they're always around, but when you make reference to them, they're kind of just like, yeah, I am around. I heard you. But I guess continuing into like the next story I was going to share with you guys. So Northville, the same place I was talking about earlier with the last place, we used to just take a bunch of pictures there. Back then, I wasn't as into, well, I was into the big paranormal stuff, but I didn't know as many of like, I guess you say the rules of it. Like, you know, don't take an item back from a haunted place, for example. So I found this weird tiki head thing there. It was made out of like foam. It was like really small, wasn't big. It was like hand painted. Like it almost looked like it was a mental hospital. So my assumption was either 1, it was just some knickknack that somebody brought in and had in their office, or 2, it may have been something that maybe one of the patients made because it was made out of foam. So, you know, it's something that they could carve like wood, but they wouldn't need anything sharp to do it. And then it was like hand painted. So, you know, it could have been that. So I ended up bringing this thing home. And I don't know if that was actually linked to this experience or not, or if it was just, again, me having a link with shadow people to begin with. But we get home. I'm living with my girlfriend at the time. We're at her parents' house. We both live in a bedroom upstairs. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning at this time. We got home from doing this until maybe like 1 or so. We come downstairs. I'm at the base of the stairs. She's about to go into the kitchen and grab a snack. And as this is happening, she has that look of fear in her eye where it's like you continue doing what you're doing because you don't know how else to react. And there was this shadow sitting on the couch. And for anybody that's ever seen a shadow person, they kind of know what I'm explaining. But there's this thing where it's just like darker than the darkest dark that's around you. And it blocks light passing through it, even in the dark. Like, it's hard to explain unless you've seen them. But we both were looking at this thing sitting on the couch at the same time. She walks right past it because, again, she didn't really like, she was already in the process of doing something and didn't know how to react, but she was like staring at it the whole time she walked past it. And so am I. So she comes around the outside of the kitchen because it's kind of like a walk around loop between the front area and then like the kitchen. She comes to the other side. She looks at me. I look at her. We both look back in the area and whatever was sitting there is gone. And we're both like, you saw that, right? And she's like, yeah, I saw that. And we ended up talking about this for like a half hour trying to figure it out. And little to say, I took that little weird tiki thing I found and put that thing outside because I don't know if it was linked to it, but I didn't want to take any chances at that point.
Yep, I wouldn't either.
That was enough for your souvenirs?
Yeah, more than enough. I took a no smoking sign too. I'm pretty sure I tossed that one too because I was like, it can't be that, but just in case.
Yeah, I don't blame you there.
Do you still have that with you to show on camera, or did you dispose of it?
The picture
Oh,
or the tiki head?
the tiki head.
It got lost in all of the pictures that my girlfriend used to take because she was like a big photographer for a while.
Oh, okay.
So just me trying to dig back and find the pictures that I was telling you guys about with the last story. Like, we spent like 3 days trying to dig through old pictures trying to find this because she's got like hard drives and hard drives with just all of our old Northville pictures, all that. Because we went there almost every weekend for like a year or two. So we had like folders on folders on folders on folders of pictures.
Mhm.
So if I can dig it up and find it, I'll be more than happy to send it to you guys. But the best way to describe it is literally just like maybe like 4 or 5 inches tall, like really basic, like hand painted, like brown with like red markings on the face, and then like the generic like stuff that comes off the sides, and that was all like blue and yellow. And then it had just like, I guess, the generic like tiki face. It didn't look anything like sinister, anything creepy. It just looked like, I don't know, something you buy at like a knick-knack shop, for example, but it was made out of foam. So that's why I weirdly think that it may have been something that was made by one of the patients there.
Oh, okay.
When you were talking about the shadow figures, have you guys heard of that? I've been meaning to show this picture. I wanted to show Enzo and you guys, but have you heard of that? It's considered the world's darkest commercial material. It's called Vanta Black.
Oh, is that dude that makes paints and it's so black that your eyes can't register how black it is? So you can like hide stuff on it.
I'm gonna show you and check it out. This thing trips me out when I.
Can you imagine seeing that in person versus? Because I'm sure that it's not the exact color on a computer screen. Like, I want to see that paint in person. That'd be sick.
What is share? Share
Oh, you
screen,
removed it, Spooky.
Chrome, and then this one. Oh, there you go. Look at this thing.
What in the world?
Oops.
It's called Vanta?
Yeah, it's made of carbon nanotubes and absorbs 99.965% of the visible spectrum. Isn't that
Sheesh.
wild?
Wow.
That is bizarre.
On that, Spooky?
It's like a black hole.
Look at that picture.
Vanta.
That's a
Black.
basketball covered by it.
That's a basketball?
Yeah,
It looks
covered
like
by.
a flat
I thought
circle.
that was just a flat piece of cardboard.
Isn't that sick?
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine throwing that at somebody in the nighttime?
They wouldn't even see it coming.
Yeah.
See, that's my whole point. Imagine this out at night, somebody covered in it. They're invisible.
Yeah, you wouldn't see them.
Man, you make me shut my garage door.
That's amazing. You could go in and rob places with that stuff on. They'd be like, I don't know, somebody was in here.
We couldn't see him though.
An absence of
first
light
step
came in
toward
here.
Active camouflage.
And it's like in Harry Potter, the invisibility cloak.
Dude, can you imagine how many shadow people experiences people would have if they just started painting themselves in like the peeping Tom problem would go out would just be ridiculous because people could just paint themselves all black in this stuff and people wouldn't even assume they were peeping Tom. They'd be like, fuck, I saw a ghost or a shadow person.
That's a good point.
Giving them bad ideas. I didn't mean to put that one out there.
Yep. Jeanette Sanchez is she's on the Amazon right now looking for some. How do I get some of
Yeah,
that?
a researcher holds a basketball covered in Vantablack.
Huh.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah,
Try to
no-
go back through and read all the comments from everybody, and they're like,
And you
"You're not
try to
even
tell me
reading our
Twitter's
stuff."
no good.
It's not. It's the devil.
This is the stuff I find on Twitter. I don't pay attention to that other bullcrap.
Good, yeah, because everything else is the
Oh.
devil.
And I also, like last week, I had pictures of dogs dressed as pirates sailing in boats.
Oh yeah, that was the best. You can bring that
Don't
up
make me
anytime.
Don't make me bring that stuff up again.
I think you might have to. That was classic, man. That was classic.
You should look up
Oh.
that paint too, because there's literally a paint you can buy that you can like do that yourself.
Yeah, dude, we might have to just get some of that and use it out, like, just paint something and use it as a podcast episode or something. Look at all the
This is a
things we
mysterious
painted.
item. What is it?
Yeah. Guess what I'm holding in my hand?
There you go. That'd be a fun segment. Half the
Yeah.
time it's a butt plug.
Oh my god. Well, half the people in the chat would already guess that. The listeners that we've got.
Then you got to start getting creative, and you'll get like those like dragon dick dildos, and just start painting that black. Like, figure out what it is as you're shaking
That's
it on the camera.
It's about 14 inches long, huh? I wonder what in the hell.
Girth about
It's a strange-
6.
Got that on the discount website. That's the wish.com version.
The Wish.com version would come like this big.
Yeah, extra large.
It's
Damn
a
it.
miniature of a giant dildo.
Comes with its own keychain. Carry it with you wherever you go. Hey, I pulled up that video we were talking about earlier about the petroglyphs on Carl's channel.
Dude, if we get Shane together with Carl, imagine the conversations.
Yeah. Yeah, because this stuff is just out in the open down there in southern Utah.
Wow.
You guys should look into. Have you guys ever heard of Denver Michaels?
No. Denver
I've
Michaels.
seen pictures of these things, but I never realized it was like this.
That one thing looks like a demon all the way to the left with
Walked
the
up to
horns.
it and that thing, that's
It does, huh?
Or is it a Goatman depiction?
I don't know. They got everything up there. This one looks like a bull, maybe. Yeah, buffalo.
But
Author
yeah,
Denver Michaels.
yeah, I was gonna say look into Denver Michaels because he literally lives in an RV with his wife. He travels around the country looking for things like this, weird stories, different cryptids and things, and he writes books about it. He's super interesting dude. You guys probably love having him on the
Oh,
show. Like he
yeah.
digs into this kind of stuff too. I'm sure he's probably actually seen this one physically in person too because he goes out of his way to look for these kinds of things.
I'm sending his YouTube channel to Cassie right now, Cassie.
Tripping because that's a snake.
We might actually get to talk to him. He's just got 500 subscribers.
Might be pointing to something.
It's the ones that have like 10 million that we can hardly ever get. Can't really talk to those guys, but
Denver Michaels is extremely humble. He's probably one of my favorite guests I've had on my show. Like if you message him, he'll
sweet.
probably message you back within an hour, and he's a really
Oh.
awesome dude, really easy to talk to.
excellent. Thank
He was
you,
even
Cass.
nice enough and kind enough to send me 3 of his books signed
really?
2 after the show, so that was pretty sweet.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that's
Really?
sweet, man.
yeah.
And he specializes in water cryptids, so that's something that I feel like not a lot of people do. Where he travels to like even South America and looks into like water cryptids. So if you guys want to touch base on some not as well known cryptids, it's like that'd be the guy to do it if you're into the water stuff.
Yeah, actually, one of our first guests, Eddie, he goes by Eddie Haskell. He saw a water cryptid that, for the life of me, I can never remember what he called it, but it was like half otter, half.
German Shepherd.
Is that what it was? German Shepherd.
He said it had like a German Shepherd snout, but I don't know. He said it was like half big German Shepherd, and I think he said otter. He didn't say beaver, did he?
Oh, beaver.
Where's he at?
I think it was an otter. I think you were right. I think it was an otter.
Yeah, like otter beaver. He's in. Isn't he in Massachusetts or Maine? I think Maine.
Oh, that's away from what I was thinking. There's a I mean, you're from Michigan, so you might know about this one. Have you ever heard of Percy, the like black water panther
Ooh.
that supposedly is in Lake Superior?
No.
Should
Percy
look into
the
that one. There's pictures of it painted on rocks and pictured rocks.
Oh,
if anybody's
yeah.
familiar with Michigan. It's really
I
really
think
interesting.
we have heard of that, Chad. That's the picture that they pulled up when we talked about this before. Somebody else brought that up. It's it looks like a panther with a big long otter tail.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike, man. That's how you do it.
Chad knows all the beaver around these parts. What's up,
That's how I know.
Simon?
That's how
Man,
I
there's
know
a lot of there's a lot of naughty people in the chat.
Oh, always.
Man,
Hey, just for the sake
girl.
of naughtiness and mixing it with cryptids, one I want to talk about on my show soon in the future. There's one called the Yukon Beaver Eater.
Oh hell!
Jesus.
There's a few of them around here.
Check it out.
Hey, that goes back into the every guy's a
Let me-
cannibal, man.
let me bring some decorum back into this chat room. This is
What do we got,
ridiculous.
Spooky? What do we got?
So I wanted to show you, why do people have such a hard time believing in all these different beings and cryptids and alien species, and when these types of beings are on our planet right now and we've
Those same
identified
people usually
Yeah.
are the ones that are hardcore into religion. So it's like you want to believe that there's a god and angels and demons, but you don't want to believe that there's physical animals that we haven't discovered yet. Like your logic doesn't make sense to me.
them,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Chillo.
Especially with like
Chile.
certain ones like Sasquatch, for example. Like there's so much behind it that it may not be everywhere, but like there's enough proof that I'd put money on it that they exist in certain areas 100%. Like
I
I'm
believe
sure
they're
there's a
here.
lot of fluff stories when it starts touching a bunch of different states, but if there's a big national park, like without a doubt in my mind, I can guarantee you there's some weird stuff in there that people have no idea about.
Oh yeah.
This
Here's
dude's
that.
awesome. Who found this guy as a guest? He fits right in with us, man.
I believe Connor. We got
Yeah,
this.
I was gonna say I had Connor on my show, and he was like, "Man, I like you. I like your energy." He's like, "I'm gonna hook you up with some people."
Oh,
and
sweet.
as soon as I finished that show with him, like 20 minutes later, your awesome booker here
Cass?
hit me up,
Oh,
and
geez.
we set up.
Yeah,
a
Cassie.
Thank her and Connor for that one.
He is the
Good job,
best.
Cassie.
Thank you, Cassie, and thank you, Connor, for the connection. This is Carl's latest post on Twitter. Some of his most recent petroglyphs that he's discovered.
That top right one looks like it was made yesterday.
Fluffy.
Yeah, the little
Right?
square-bodied one.
Yeah, isn't he
Someone
cool?
came in and drew on it.
Look it up here, Chad, with the antenna.
Oh yeah, that's bizarre.
And what's coming out of these guys' heads?
Do you see the like kind of shadowy looking like white depicted people underneath the yellow? It's almost you can like barely see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. I can see that now.
It's almost like there's different layers of time.
He's holding them up.
Different
I mean,
different
That's always possible too. That somebody
Why,
hit
Chad?
on it.
Why?
years and
What are
years
they
later.
trying to tell us?
it's just like timelines of storytellers.
It looks to me like they're all holding them up real high and they're looking out at something.
If those are Indians, those might be feathers on their head. I don't know what it represents, but
Could be feathers.
maybe.
Look at this dude right here with the two little things coming out of his head.
That thing
Yeah.
next to it reminds me of like I
Wait,
don't want to say a snake, but like a crawfish.
is this dude right here bowing down to the other one?
I saw that totally different. It looked like a crawfish to me.
I thought maybe this guy was bowing to this one.
It's like a big ass something.
I could see that though. Yeah, definitely.
Man.
Yeah, I would
These
assume
red eyes.
They almost
Oh,
look like
those
earrings.
look like earrings.
Yep.
Oh, that's bizarre. They got earrings.
But that don't look like the rest of the drawings though. Why is it a different color?
You don't think this is red eyes?
I don't know.
It could be. I mean, they're just so far off on the sides of the head, but
The
It
red
could be.
eyes, like Chris Chris
Oh.
Jr.
What did
was
they
talking
use?
about.
What do you guys
Right.
think they used to paint that on there? Is it just never weathered? Like, is it out of the rain and sun completely?
I've wondered that too, man. Because like, if you went out there with a Sharpie, it'd be gone, and it'd be gone in a couple months just from the UV rays from the sun. So what are they using for?
I feel like the white is probably scratched stone on stone. It may not actually be something painted on there, but it's like chunks taken out of the stone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that maybe that's why that looks way different than the colored stuff, because the colored stuff could have been from like stains from different berries, things like that.
Mhm.
But I mean, if these are drawings that are inside of a cave, I mean, it would make sense for them to be able to use things like that. But if it was something outside, I'll have to dig into it. I'm sure that they use certain materials that made it permanent, but like that Percy drawing that I was telling you guys about in the UP, it's colored like this, but it's outside. So like there's something to it where it was able to stand the weather, be it some type of like dye they figured out about or something. But
I wonder if somebody chipped one of those out. If you go back to that other picture, Chad, just before this one.
Oh, this is Spooky Morales.
That's
Oh,
a trip
spooky,
that
sorry.
one is so square.
Right there, where we're saying it looks
Yeah.
like somebody bowing. Right above it, I wonder if somebody
Oh, where it's
chipped one of
chipped?
those out. Yeah.
they removed the head. Maybe it was something weird that they didn't want people to see. Maybe the first person that discovered it just
Ooh.
took that head off because maybe that one was different.
Huh.
Sun Saver.
It looked like a bug to me, a giant bug.
Yeah.
Insectoids, man.
Spooky, that
Because-
one.
Like the Hopi Indians, they have they on their
headdress on
petroglyphs
this
they have
thing.
like the
See that?
ant people, the famous
What's
ant people.
The headdress on this thing down here, these dots.
Oh yeah.
Definitely makes you think though, because I mean, you have to draw it from something. They didn't just get. They're not just dreaming these ideas up. So they're drawing these figures
Why
based
though?
on something
Why?
they saw.
What
Yeah,
were
like
they trying-
why?
Wow, I'm looking at the eyes from the perspective Spooky was saying, and on the left side,
Oh, yeah, right there.
there's another one that's got them red eyes. It's with them lines off the head.
Yeah, when you look at it close, it looks like earrings to me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
Think of it as human form.
That movie is about ready to come out from James Fox, right? Where he goes and talks about the Varginha incident in Brazil, and the creature have red eyes.
Oh.
Making connections, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to dig into this area. Where exactly is this from? Does it say like you said this was Utah?
Southern Utah is where our boy's at. Carl. Let me see.
You
if I
and
can get
how does he say that? You and
Those are eyes.
Uinta Basin.
you
Full videos coming today, but these pictographs might be some of only a few known to exist connected to the Grand Canyon Esplanade polychrome style. Layers of mystery here.
Yeah. He's digging
So-
into it, man.
We see insectoid type creatures in full giant form probably, and then we know that there's creatures right now in minuscule form. So why do people have such a hard time believing, that these creatures were here too?
I mean, even if they died out and there's still some around, I mean, it's still definitely probable. You can't believe that we may not even be the only intelligence that has adapted as
That's
time's
why,
gone on.
Shane,
But we could be the
that's
most
why they-
invasive and everything else hides.
Shane, that's why I think they put these things in writing and drawings so that we would be humbled to the fact that you ain't the only ones, dude. We were here way before you.
Do you guys know about the whole like uncanny valley thing?
No,
Hmm.
tell us.
No.
Where pretty much people have a natural instinctual fear to be afraid of things that look like us. So
Yes.
coming off of instinctual fears, they have to come from somewhere. So that being said, like some of the other ones are darkness, of course, because anything can be hiding in the dark. That's just a natural fear. And then snakes and spiders, because snakes can sneak up on you. So it's just naturally like people are supposed to be afraid of them. Same with spiders, because it's like they're tiny, but they could literally kill you. So when it comes to the fourth one, it's things that look like people. So again, just like the other ones that had to have come from somewhere, there was something here at some point, be it aliens, things that were close to humans, and different variations of humans, that made us scared of things naturally that look like humans. Like it's there.
I
So
love that. Tell us more.
I mean, that's where the whole porcelain dolls thing comes into too, and like why AI creeps the hell out of everybody, but you can't really quite place why. That's
Oh,
what it is,
really?
Uncanny Valley, man.
I love Spooky how right before he has to go and take a break, he just like amps up the energy and he's like, "Tell us more." Click.
That's what I was about to say. Did you get a connection or two? Did you just dip out? Or?
He'll be right back.
Yeah, he's got to dip out every now and then.
I'm sorry I had to dip out earlier, guys, but I have my grandkids and a sick dog next door.
Jeez, Sonny, son of a bitch.
I had
We
to
need
go-
you here
Had
the whole
dog
time.
up there earlier. So I heard
What's
somebody's
that?
dog in the background, but I didn't know who it was coming from.
Oh, that was mine. Probably, yeah. Hey, Chad, I'm gonna send you one in Messenger. See if you
Mm-hmm.
can set up.
Okay.
This when we go camping, my grandkids, I have a little Bigfoot. It's about this big. It's actually Patty, that Bigfoot. I hide that. They go find it, and we're in the mountains, and I see on this tree. It looked like a bug was carrying another bug. That's what caught my attention. Then I start looking at this thing, and man, you know those little green bugs that fly around? Like, garage is full of them right now. Usually, but yeah, the little green bugs that fly around. You kill them, they stink. It's little tiny things. It looked like one of those was carrying an ant, and then I started looking at it. This bug's got a big old long neck. Looks like a dinosaur with wings. It's half flying bug and half ant, but it has a long neck or so. You'll see.
Weird.
When Chad can get this video pulled up. Yeah, we found that, and I was thinking, now that looks alien. That's something I've never seen before. Never seen it again either.
You sent it to me in Messenger?
Yeah,
It's taking a while.
yeah, I think it was too long. I should have shortened it.
Probably because
Do
you're
that.
on the internet. Pulling all the bandwidth. Width.
Yes, starting to get the lag. I can see it on the screen. The jump lag.
Yeah, I did. I just went way down. That's what happened.
Yeah, Sonny's out in Fresno. He's out in the country. He doesn't
Oh,
have
yeah,
Starlink yet.
Got to fight with that internet, dude. I do try to do shows with Lanny and Chud X, if you guys know who they are, and they have this thing that's going on with their internet where it's like every 15 minutes it'll freeze, and then it'll speed up, and then it'll go back to normal. So it's like you'll
Whoa.
be doing an interview with them, and
Oh,
it's
what?
almost like you have to stop at certain points because otherwise you're just gonna end up with like audio you can't do anything with because it'll be like super fast and then slow back down.
Oh, weird.
But they live in the middle of like, there's nothing really around them, so it's same issue, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
it sucks to live near the city, but you get an internet connection. But it's like the opposite for the country. Like I'd rather live in the country, but being a podcaster, it would suck to not have a good internet connection.
Yeah, man. Like if I had my choice, I'd be in one of those tour buses that you see like Bob Seger roll up in and just line it with solar panels and some Starlink internet and be out west somewhere.
Dude, you and me are in the same boat. I got two options. One, I want to get an RV one day and just be able to travel around and see everything. Or two, I want to be able to get some land where nobody's going to bother me
Mhm.
and fill out my animals. Because I live in the city. I live in like Roseville. I'm not supposed to have any farm animals, and I got 12 chickens. So
Oh, do you really?
yeah, and I had 2 ducks that I recently gave to a friend, just because she has a bigger farm area that they'd just be happier in. Where I'm in the city and I don't really have the access to be able to give them like a pond they can be in all day. So
Yeah.
I moved them on and expanded into. I had 6 chickens, now I have 12. But I'm in Roseville, so I have like a normal suburban yard with 12 chickens in it. So if I can move to the country one day and expand that, that'd be pretty awesome. If not, I'll probably be chilling with 1 or 2 fucking chickens in an RV, and that's just how it's gonna go.
For sure, dude. Do you have the same problems with your chickens that other people do? Like do you have to worry about coyotes and stuff coming in the pen?
Just because I live in the city, I don't have to worry about them, but I do have them in an enclosed, like I have their chicken coop, and then I have like a whole wire fenced area looking thing that kind of blocks them off because I feed the birds in my backyard. So I live in the city, but I get hawks. So I don't want to take a chance with the hawks and my chickens. So I
Yeah.
have them blocked off. But I do have rats that always try to get into the coop. And funny story, I started shooting them with a BB gun just
Mhm.
because like they're messing up my coop. They're digging holes and everything. So I'm not normally like a person that's just going around killing things for fun. Like, I
Yeehaw.
don't want people to get that impression. But so I start shooting these things in my yard, and they start disappearing in the morning. And I'm like, what the hell is eating these? Like I have a cat that hangs out in my yard, but he gets food from me. Like he doesn't eat rats. He has white on his mouth, so like I'd see blood on it. So I go back there one day and I hear a rat shuffling around. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get this guy. So I turn around the corner and there's this big ass possum literally eating the corpse of a rat. So I was like, all right, I guess
Jeez.
that question gets answered. Apparently possums live in the city, 1, which of course they eat garbage and stuff, I guess. And 2, they apparently eat rat corpses.
Circle of life.
And there was 2 of them in particular that I shot. They sat there for 2 days because it sounds kind of messed up, but rats are intelligent. So like if you leave dead rats there, they'll kind of be like, okay, danger area. So the idea is that I don't have to shoot as many because they'll just stay away. But this thing started eating them, and one of them sat there for 2 days, and it was like bloated, like gross. And then apparently this fucking possum still ate it. There was one yesterday that I found on the side of my house. I didn't even shoot it. My dog somehow took a shit on top of it. There's literally shit on top of this rat, so I wasn't about to pick it up and throw it away, nothing like that. Come up next morning, it's gone. Like, this possum literally ate a shit-covered rat.
To a possum, that's just toppings, man.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
They're fucking
Possums are-
nasty, dude.
He's like, throw me
Desperate
another
over here.
one like that.
Yeah.
Man, that's bizarre. Yeah, we got some desperate animals over here in Michigan. We got
Man,
that
that's what
Flint
happens
water.
when you move into their environment, man. They ain't got nowhere to go. They're going to start eating whatever they got.
That's true. Yep. Yeah,
thing
Enzo
was
says,
fat,
yep, for
so-
possums, it's just icing on the cake.
That thing was fat, too, so it's
Get him,
living a
Simon,
good
get him.
life eating these rat corpses now.
Get 'em, Simon. Right. Well, some of those rats are about the same size as a damn possum.
You're not wrong, man. That was part of the reason I had to take them out. They started having babies, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to have 3 times the problem next year.
Right. Yep. That is something bizarre that you brought up, that like some animals, they don't realize, like they could be walking through a whole landmine field full of all their dead buddies and they don't even realize it, and they just keep going. Like,
See, people
like
don't
you
give
mentioned that rats.
Because, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Like, I used to breed rats and shit, and like they work as like a pack, and they like learn from each other.
Oh,
Like, they're probably one of the more intelligent rodents. Like, they're smart enough that if they find a new food they've never had before, they usually live as a group, and one of them will eat it, and they'll wait usually about a day to see if the other one dies before the other one start eating it.
really?
Yep. And then when
That's
they dig
bizarre.
their holes, they go up and then down. So if there's flooding, it doesn't clear them out, and they usually will make it so that if they need to and stuff starts to flood up on the ground, they can pretty much be a couple inches from the surface and dig straight up and out. Like, even how they develop, like how they tunnel underground, man, like they're weirdly smart creatures. Like, I used to, like I said, I used to breed them. I used to do like hairless rats and stuff, so I did like the fancier end of stuff. But like like the one I had, man, I named him Splinter. He was my first rat. I used to snap and put my arm out, and he'd walk up my arm and sit in my hoodie. He wouldn't poop or anything in my hood the whole time, and I'd walk up to the gas station, go buy some wraps, all that kind of fun stuff. People at the gas station would be staring at me. I'd walk back home. He'd just climb back down and put my hand down. He'd walk back in his cage. And then he'd go.
Whoa.
Like, they're
That's
smart, man.
bizarre.
My daughter wanted a cat, and here we got the SPCA, and you can go get animals from there that they're going to put down. Like, if your dog or cat or something, it could be a horse, it could be anything, is running around and has no license or tags, or they'll pick it up, take it to the SPCA. It's like doggy jail.
Call the SPCA, ma.
After like a month or two, they put them down, though. If they don't get adopted, they don't get readopted.
Oh,
I guess
I
that's
like
how our
hearing that.
states differ. I don't think they
I
have
would-
any kill shelters in Michigan.
I went
Dogs
there.
are the best.
My daughter told me, my youngest daughter told me she wanted a cat. I said, I was going to go to the SPCA just to look around. And my wife said, don't bring home no damn cats. So when I was there, they had a full-sized rat. They had a full-sized rat that was already grown. She was a year old. And
yeah.
I named her Kitty and brought that home.
The rat?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Kitty
Smartest
rat.
Kitty.
Smartest rat, dude. Somebody took her in there because a kid stuck his finger in the cage and it bit it. And she don't bite, but if you stick your finger in there, she will. She thinks it's food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's
She-
confused.
Super smart. Like, I could be outside in my garage or out in the backyard, and I could have her on my shoulder or just pick her up and tell her, hey, go get in your house. This rat would go back through the garage, through the kitchen, down the hallway, through all the rooms, and go get in her cage and go get in her little house in the cage. They're like that smart.
I like
Kitty.
mantids, mantids,
Kitty.
and dogs.
I like
But this dog is not impressed with this mantid.
That dog is not having it,
Get
dude.
ready to smash that man.
Mantis just shaking his head.
You want to go? Let's go, bitch. Let's go.
Yeah, I kind of have a thing for dogs. I love dogs.
I'm a big cat person. Call me crazy, but I got 8 cats in my house, and I got 1 outdoor cat that just kind of lives
I
around
love
my
cats,
house.
too.
That's
I
one
got a
of those.
hairless cat. I got a Sphinx
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
those are rare.
cat right now, but she's somewhere around here.
Yeah, earlier Lynn LeBlanc said that she wanted to see the kitty because I think he was sitting up there on his bed up there behind you.
Oh yeah, that may have been Oliver, the orange one. But just for that person, I do have 1 cat right here. Her name's Winter, so I'll grab her.
Oh, sweet. Winter.
Yeah, this one's.
Gotta love animals on screen, man.
Hold up.
Spooky's got an animal on screen.
There you go.
Oh.
Now I can hear. I somehow unplugged my headphones, but yeah, this one.
Oh, sweet. She's like, I'm tired.
But to flip the other side of the spectrum, I got this too. Come here, bud.
Aw, there you go. What's up, meathead?
He's a little
Man.
brick, man.
Yeah, those dogs are awesome. Got the jowls.
He's too tired, bro. I literally laid him down. He's laying exactly how I put him down, so his arms are like fan backwards right now, and he's not even moving.
He's like, Dad, it's too late to do podcasts. Come on, man.
He's like, I'm just trying to sit here, get warm, cuddle. He keeps trying to scoot closer. He's one of those dogs, like most pits, where they start off on the other side of the couch, but
Mhm.
if you're not paying attention, you give it 5 minutes, all of a sudden they're going to be on top of you.
Yeah. Well, I had one that got overheated. Like he wanted to hang out with you and cuddle, but then after like 5 minutes, he'd just get way too hot and he couldn't do it anymore. He'd be laying on the ground all sprawled out. I can't do it anymore, man. It's hot.
But I still want it.
Yeah. Dude, the dogs are actually warmer than people are, I feel like.
Dude, it
Beat.
can be too much sometimes, man. They try to like lay with you, and it's fine. Like you want to lay with them, but sometimes it's just like so
Yeah,
like
they get-
hot and sticky. It's just like, bro, get off me.
Yeah.
Hey Chad, if I share something,
Yeah.
it's for Spooky. If I share something, it's gonna have a song in the background, but so I want to show Spooky a praying mantis dancing. Have you ever seen that before, Spooky?
I want to
Like
see it.
not just with music in the background. This dude actually likes the music and is getting into the music.
Ooh, I want to see
And
it.
he's got rhythm and everything, so I got to play the song. As long as it's informational, I think I can get away with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I wanna
Okay,
see
well, let's
that
try it.
Well, we can put up the fair use warning.
Oh, that's the wrong share button.
We are stating fair use. We are stating fair use. Is that what you say? We're stating fair use.
State it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chad Smith, and I'm stating fair use.
Oh yeah, I don't have to be over here now. I forgot. All right, you guys can see that. Let me make sure you can hear it.
Yeah. Those are sweet speakers.
I know I got one of those. That's pretty nice. All right, check this guy out.
Copyright.
Yep, we're getting in trouble. It's TikTok.
It's TikTok.
Just watch. He's getting down.
Oh, there he is.
Watch.
Yeah, get it, boy.
He's jamming, dude. Look at him.
Oh, he likes it, man.
Oh, now he wants the vibration. He's sitting
Yeah,
out.
he
Feel the
likes it.
bass.
We're all vibration.
That's cool.
I know he's got moves, man.
That's badass. Bump, 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 bump. Fair use.
It almost makes you wonder if he was actually dancing to her, or if he was just like getting like that stagger from like the vibration. Like, this is too much. I'm just trying to get away, man.
Right.
I don't know. He crawled up it. Normally, you would think he would run from it, but
Yeah, he was
I don't
digging
like
it, man.
If he got on there,
He could have been distorted, man. Maybe they were dumping out some liquor on the ground. Maybe he got into
I know,
somebody's hard seltzer for the summer.
Maybe he found a little left-handed cigarette laying on the
we
ground or
got him live
something.
first, dude. That's what it was. He was like, yeah.
He's like, I am feeling these vibes, son.
Play some fucking reggae, man.
That's right.
Smash mouth.
Some smash mouth.
I thought he said trash mouth.
Oh.
It's all the same. This is the one Sonny.
Oh yeah, look at
Sent me.
this fucked up bug, dude. This is what caught my attention.
God, what is he? He's got a long ass neck on him.
No, it looks like a dinosaur neck. That's what I said.
That thing is weird.
Going into microscopic stuff, do you guys ever wonder how many undiscovered species of bugs there may be, or just
Oh.
like things that have
Thank you.
come to be
Exactly.
over time that like we
This-
just haven't marked?
Yes.
Like they're
There's
so
so
tiny
much.
that you're not gonna find them unless you're literally walking on the ground like
Mhm.
with a magnifying glass looking for all this shit.
Billy used to own a pest control service, and he doesn't even know what that is.
I don't know what like classification it goes in.
No, it looks
It's
like
a little bit of
it
everything.
looks like a green silverfish with wings and a neck with an ant head. That's
I was
what-
gonna say it
Yeah.
reminds me of like a wasp mixed with a dragonfly. That's what I was kind of getting the feel.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
weird.
weird. I know I didn't touch it.
Fuck no, it's probably like the most venomous or the most venomous
my
species of
luck.
bug in the entire planet.
Right. That'd be
It just
Sonny's
touches
luck.
you and you're dead. You don't even know that you died. You just
He gone. He was there
And
one
another
minute.
one.
Now he gone.
another one bites the
This
dust.
this was outside my house.
Oh man,
No.
Oh, that's pretty.
that's pretty damn cool. That is a leaf.
Is that some kind of
that is
fruit spider?
camouflage. Perfect.
Look at
It looks like
look
a
at
fruit
those
spider.
look at those eyes. There's like 3 sets of them.
That's
That looks like a
bizarre, dude.
mask. The one on the bottom, it does look like a
Yeah.
mask.
And what's going on right here?
Like a cat person.
Oh, speaking of really cool stuff, we're talking about camouflage and mantises. You guys got to look up orchard mantises and leaf mantises.
Jeez.
I don't know what an orchard mantis is.
It looks or orchid mantis. 'cause
Orchid.
It looks like a
Orchid
flower.
mantis. Yep, that one's a cool one.
Yep. And then the leaf mantis is like literally looks like a leaf. Like that thing's crazy. Like we
Mhm.
used to try to. I used to work at a reptile store for like 3 or 4 years, and we used to try to sell exotic mantises. But the problem was mantises' life cycle isn't very long, so people would buy these expensive mantises and then get pissed off that they die after a couple months. But we had
Oh.
some really cool exotic looking stuff in that store though, so I got
I
to learn
didn't-
about a lot of weird ones.
Oh yeah, see that's a trip, dude. That's so cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
it looks like a little. Just looks like a flower. Chilling there.
There's
Oh,
some that
nice.
start getting like the red markings in them too. They're really cool looking.
Whoa. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
see?
bizarre.
Couldn't even tell that it was on a leaf, man. Like, how many animals do we walk past that have camouflage like that? You know,
Yep. Yeah, you'd never even know it.
like you're just
Oh,
skimming
man.
past it, it just looks literally like a flower.
Those things are so bizarre too. Like they will grab a hold of something and just start mowing down on it.
We used to put them in jars with everything just to see what is tougher, and the
Yeah.
mantis is always tougher. Yeah,
Always.
yeah. Black widows, orbed weavers, everything. Anything you put them in there with, they kill it quick.
Damn, Sony. That's like a MMA fight between
Bugs.
bugs. Yeah.
We didn't have fucking PlayStation and internet, man.
All right, I'll give you that. I'll give
You
you
just
that.
got to start recording it for TikTok, and you could probably have a huge channel with a lot of followers, and just call it like bug fights. Be like
Bug
"Bum fights,
fights."
but with bugs. And then whatever the winner is, you give him a fucking sugar cube. Call it a day. Let him go.
There you go, dude. That might have to be a new segment on the morning show.
That'd be awesome. Just put any random 2 bugs, and the winner gets a sugar cube, and you let him go.
Yep.
Another one,
He
day.
gets brutal sometimes. We get banned.
Oh yeah, we'd get banned for sure, dude.
You gotta leave them all. Make it super brutal, man. You gotta make it like a gladiator battle where all the ones that have died in the past you leave in the jar. So when they fight in the future, they're just fighting on a body or on a pile of dead bug bodies.
I had a really big black widow. Life cycles on those are pretty long.
Oh yeah, dude. Some
Um,
tarantulas will live like, let's see, there's like what is it for males? It's like average is like 5 to 6 years, and for females, it's like 10 to 12 years for tarantulas.
Ooh man.
Mhm.
I didn't know they lived that long.
Mm-hmm. Dude, there's what was it? The Goliath bird eater, and its legs are about the size of a dinner plate, and that's like the biggest one.
Huge.
Oh.
Then there's
Yeah,
skeleton
hey,
knees.
isn't that one like really venomous too? The bird eater one? That one will jack you up if it bites you.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to get bit by those guys. They
no.
literally are called bird or Goliath bird eaters because what they do is they'll sit up in a tree and pretty much they'll ambush jump on a bird.
No.
And part of how like it kills its prey is that pretty much the impact of it hitting the ground, they'll like twist them to be the thing that hits the ground.
Where were you ordering them from?
Lord.
Like,
Where are we
does that
getting 'em
kind of stuff come from?
We had like a couple of I'd say sketchy
Like these
reptile type
giant
people.
spiders that jump and eat birds. I want to know where they live where I need to stay away from.
I think it's the
Exactly.
Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. Like
Yeah,
most
there's a lot
horrifying
of reasons
things.
to stay out of the Amazon.
Where do I need to stay away from? That's what I'm thinking too.
Hey, but you could go the other way. Get a Chaco Goldeny. They're known as like the gentle giants, and they're another huge species of tarantula, but they're like handleable. But I guess it's all of personal preference because I'm one of those people that you can handle certain species of tarantulas, but they're one of those things that's just better left alone because they get stressed out and it's not really good for them to handle you or for them to you to handle them because they don't think like normal people would. Like they don't remember people. They don't remember any of that shit. They run off of straight instinct. So it doesn't matter how many times you hold them. They're not going to get used to you. They're not going to know you. They're just the second you put them down, they already don't forgot you even exist. So it's like they're awesome pets for observing. But like even the ones that are supposed to be handleable, like it's honestly better just to not handle them. Like even chameleons, bro, you're not even supposed to handle chameleons, but people handle them. And that's why they change all the funky colors is because they're in defensive mode. Like they're freaking out. That's why they change all the colors. Like if you want to have a happy chameleon, like you're never going to see that thing and you're never going to touch it. Because
that don't work for all lizards, right? Because I have like wild lizards here. They're somewhat wild.
No, not all lizards.
Wild lizards. And they get so tame. I'll go out back to water or say like one comes in the garage. They like to get on my pant legs. I have pictures. They'll just sleep on my pants. They want to be up on me. I'll be walking around working and they's just hanging out on my pants. And I take them outside and put them down in the garden. Dude, I have to run away from them because they chase me down and jump back on my pant leg. They're not. It's like they for surely remember me.
Yeah, I mean, they probably like the warmth too. Like reptiles, they do remember people. It's just tarantulas that don't. And realistically,
there was one on me, and it came in the house.
I'm here all the time, and they don't get on my.
Oh yeah, they don't. They run if he comes around.
He was telling me this when it kind of half-ass first started. He was telling me about the lizard because I got a lizard down at my house that is cool with you getting close to him, but we don't really interact much. He just isn't afraid of me anymore.
Yeah.
Sonny comes home, realizes that lizard's pretty much tame. So he tames this lizard and he's telling me about it. And I'm like, for real? He's already sent me pictures of it drinking water off of his finger and it being on him and him letting it go and stuff like that. We're walking through the back door of the garage and he's standing here pointing at plants in his backyard. Drops from over the threshold of the door, lands on his chest, and then runs around to the other side. He's just chilling right there. And I was like, what the?
They wait above the door. Oh, shit, dude. It did it to me at nighttime one time. Almost killed him.
Like a booby trap.
Yeah, he just waits for me to walk through the door, and he's like, that's him.
Jeez. Pounce.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty. They have to. Those have to remember me, but I don't know about. Look, they like my grandkids too.
The spider's totally different though. Completely.
I'll have to send this to mine so I can open it.
Going back to the lizard thing for a quick second, the only one realistic, like lizards are cool being held. Like most of them are cool with it. The only one that it's like honestly bad for to hold is chameleons. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty much fair game. If you want to tame them, you can tame them, but chameleons get super stressed out, and they're best if you never see them because when they're changing and showing freaky ass colors, it's because they're stressed out and they're trying to like show you to put me.
I didn't know that, man. I thought it was cool to be picking them up, putting them on your shirt, let them change that color. That's what I would have thought with a chameleon.
No,
I didn't know they did it because of stress. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
because they'll sit with their mouths open too, and that's another sign that they're stressed out. Because same with most lizards, they'll sit there with their mouth open, trying to show like their teeth and stuff to try to be like, leave me the hell alone. And most of the time, when people have the chameleons on their shoulder and they're crazy colors, they're sitting there with their mouth wide open.
Oh,
so do they eat like mites and stuff like that?
As far as they go, they mainly eat like in the reptile community, I guess, is like crickets, different like little insects. But I'm sure that like in the wild and stuff, they kind of just eat whatever they can get, any type of like little insects. And they do have the tongues that they can grab stuff.
Yeah, but I'm thinking some of the bugs I'm thinking of, they might be a little too big for.
I mean, if it fits in their mouth, they're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, it might be too small. Like, I don't even think they would notice, like mites and shit like that.
I mean, maybe a baby chameleon. I mean, baby chameleons are, maybe like an inch and a half, 2 inches long. So they might be eating stuff like that. I know, like, as far as, like, again, the reptile trade, people will feed them, like, fruit flies and things like that when they're really, really small. So that's pretty bigger than a mite, but still pretty small.
These are the guys I was talking about right here.
Oh, those are beardies. Bearded
Yeah,
dragons?
They live
Hey,
out.
now.
No, these live outside. That big one is the one that'll run me down and jump on me. He's really
Trying to zoom in. It looks like a bearded dragon from where I'm at,
Oh.
but
Oh no,
I don't know
they're
if I can zoom in
smaller.
on this. Yeah, I can't zoom in. Sorry, man.
where do you live at?
Fresno,
Fresno,
in the country,
California.
in the middle of California.
Hey, we used to have horny toads here like that too.
Oh, those kind of. They might be like some type of like horn lizard or something. It's kind of hard to tell like without seeing them
those
super
are blue
close.
bellies.
I probably got a closer picture.
We
Yeah, there's
call
a
them
blue belly.
bellies.
That's what we. Yeah, you're right.
They
That's what we
get
call
big
it.
blue stripes on the bottom side. I don't know if it's when they get old enough or whatever, but some of them get real dark blue stripes on the side.
Dude,
of
it's
the
so
belly.
bad. He came over here just like what, a month ago or so, and he goes, I said something about I got to go get this lizard out of the house because the one came in on me and got down and I couldn't catch her and she went and hid from me. And she's a really pretty blonde lizard, and he's seen it in there and didn't say anything. And we're sitting out here, and he goes, "Yeah, it's right there in the kitchen, dude. It was just looking at you." I thought it was like one of your pets. I goes, it's not supposed to be in the house, dude.
Yeah, we were just sitting here one day talking, and we were talking about those, and Sonny's like, well, I can just go outside and grab one real quick and show you. And he just went out there and grabbed one and brought it in. Like, yeah, that's not a Michigan thing, that's for sure. We don't have lizards just walking around outside.
We have
They
like
don't
very
act like
limited
that.
reptiles in
They
Michigan.
don't. Only his lizards act like that with him. Like I
Yeah.
ain't seen it nowhere else, and I grew up right here, like
Oh, okay.
eighth of a mile down the road.
Yeah, it's
This
nuts.
one-
Reptilians.
This is what they do when my dog was trying to get this lizard. Let me send some pictures. My dog's trying to get this lizard. This lizard got pissed off. This is the big lizard that I just showed you a picture of, the longer one.
Mhm.
GG.
Yeah, this is a picture of that lizard, but this is what
Gorilla
they look
King.
like when I get mad.
Oh,
Let me share these.
there you go. Wow, the color is so cool on that one.
Yeah. Did you share that, Chad? I didn't have to do that.
Yeah, it was on the bottom. I just brought it up.
All right, here, I'll change it.
Man, the colors.
Yeah, that's him right
Turquoise.
there. That was him like the year before. But if he's not pissed off, he doesn't turn that color. So yeah, when they get mad, they do change colors. But yeah, his belly looks like that when he's mad. He still
Wow.
like he'll let me hold him and pet him and stuff like that. But yeah, that's
They look
that's-
totally different from that picture to the other one. Because in the picture that's on the shirt, from like where I'm looking at it, they almost look like bearded dragons. And the other picture, it looks totally different.
Yeah, because he's all mad and blue right here. That's actually the same lizard, but like I said, there's like a year difference in those pictures.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
so coming
wow.
into maturity and stuff too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, when they get older, they get.
And this was with the
hurt.
dog chasing him. My dog was chasing him through the garden. And so he was all pissed off and he turned blue. And I was like, oh man, he looks so sick. Like,
What's up, Hosky? Yeah, those are nuts.
yeah, that's the ones I was talking about. They're not they have to remember me because like if they see him walking in or any, they take off, man. They're gone.
Oh, for sure. They'll remember you. Yeah, it's just tarantulas and stuff and like
And the
different
mice.
insects that run off that primal instinct where they don't remember people stuff like that.
He's petted. He's had mice tamed down, like stuck in the wheat bag mice.
Yeah, but that's because I feel bad. I killed their mom, and she had 3 babies, and I didn't know. And so, yeah, it was so bad. Like they'd be waiting for me right here on this bed in the shop, dude. Yeah.
Took over being their mom, man.
GG.
And so they got bigger, and then I took them out to the field right here, And within 2 days, they were back in the garage. I had to take them away.
Check this one out. Hey, Chad, don't be scared now.
Uh-oh.
Why?
You
What
should
are
try
you-
to say this was a reptilian they took a picture of.
Yeah, the reptiles, they freak me out.
Ooh.
That
Wow.
does look scary. Looks
That
Where's
is-
this coming from?
Don't be scared.
What?
Don't be scared.
What is this? What am I looking at?
a reptilian.
What's the source on this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
where does
it's
it come
just
from?
somebody on Twitter.
Ah,
If anything, it looks more
Well-
like a gray than a reptilian.
I thought it was a pretty good one.
like something I don't want to see at all.
Right?
I always go for the scariest looking ones.
Well,
So-
I mean, yeah.
Pretty creepy looking. I can't believe that's real.
Uh,
I'd have nightmares about it.
Since you were in a pet store, have you ever seen the guys that come in that they try to turn themselves into the reptilians? You see that? They got like tattoos of scales and
Let's just say the other girl that worked there with me had her tongue split.
yeah,
Whoa.
talking about that is crazy.
That is crazy. I've seen those
That's
before.
pretty cool. But
I
it's-
fear that we're headed towards the gutter again.
She even
Oh,
had her ears cut to look like elf ears too.
Oh man!
That's hot.
She was
And
she
then
was a
her
character.
tongue can go.
That's hot.
That's hot. We do need a button. Oh, that's hot button.
For the people in the chat, this is Ariel. This is probably the one the cat that you saw earlier sitting on the back of the couch.
Yep, there you go, Lynn LeBlanc. She's the one that wanted to see. I love orange cats. They've got the most. It seems like they have the most.
Garfield.
They're most like dogs.
Funny story about orange cats. So they're supposed to be the most friendly cats for whatever reason, but when it comes to orange cats, the orange coloring is attached to the male chromosome. So it's extremely rare to have a female orange cat, which this cat is a female, which is kind of weird.
Oh,
And supposedly, because it's linked to the chromosomes, theoretically speaking, they believe that if you have an orange cat that's a female, that they're a little downsy, to say it in a nice way.
mhm.
And funny also with this cat that she's the one that'll stare at the wall for like an hour, like
Oh,
not
yeah?
sleeping, but just stare at the wall. Like she does a lot of like weird off things, and she does this at night. She obsessively
Aw.
tries to rub on your beard, so
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised. She fits the
Yeah.
characteristics of an orange cat, and she's a little bit off.
I always say I'm not a cat person, but when cats do that, it's like, oh, you're kind of like a little dog.
All my cats are like that, dude. They all want to be around me. They all want to like hang out. They want to rub on me all the time. Like they act like dogs, to say the least.
Yeah, I get along with those ones.
That's the only kind of cats I can have, dude. They gotta act like dogs.
This one,
Yeah.
when you get out of the shower, dude, trying to act like a dog, she tries to lick the water off of you. And then she does this thing where like you'll be trying to dry off and she'll try to grab onto you and hug you around your neck.
Wow.
She's a weird one, man.
I was
Oh,
just.
And the chance, I guess, from what I was reading online, I don't know if this is 100% true, but they say it's only a 1 to 5% chance of getting a female orange cat. So if anybody knows more on this, I definitely would like some more information on it. If anybody has any female orange cats, because I personally haven't seen any other ones besides her that's a female.
Yeah, I've never thought about it until you brought that up, but
Yeah,
I've
you know
never
what?
met
I
a.
had two. They were both males.
Yeah,
See?
I've never met a female orange
Yep.
cat.
Lucky and Garfield.
And we only ended up with her because we got her brother, and we didn't even see her in the back of the, because we got her from a rescue. We didn't even see her in the back of the cage. And then we decided not to split them up because they were together. So we ended up, I have a brother and a sister that were pretty much like twin orange cats, and one's a boy and one's a girl.
Huh. I was just cracking up at this. Sunsaver says, I have some aggressive, large flying cockroaches. They will eat on you while you sleep, and they love to camp in my shoes, so I got to bang them out every morning.
No.
You want to talk
No.
about some bug wars? You got some microscopic organisms. I read this somewhere online recently. You got some microscopic organisms that supposedly live on your nipples during the day, and at night they go up to your face and they reproduce. So they fuck on your face.
Damn titty suckers are fucking on your face.
Titty fuckers are fucking on your face.
Just living rent free on my face. Damn it.
Well, living rent free on your nipples and then fucking on your face.
Oh my God. They're not even subscribing to the channel. Come on, guys. Can't be living rent free on my nipples.
I'm gonna put some lube on my forehead tonight so they can have an extra good time.
Oh my god.
Got to go back to those wish.com dildos.
Yeah, that's right.
Just stick one on your forehead.
Just
You'll
a
be
little
a
bit.
magic dildo unicorn for the night.
Just a
A
trial
mini
size.
microscopic dildo unicorn. Yeah. You got to go on
Oh
some
my
elite
God.
sites to get those, man.
Yeah, the black web or the dark web.
You call them motorboating bugs. That's
Those motorboating sons of bitches. Oh my god. Nipple bugs. Yeah. Man. Damn,
You
was
zoom
that?
into them, and they end up having like a microscopic sound, and it ends up being a. Somebody do this research. What noise do they make?
That's exactly it. My god. Yep.
oh.
Man. Motorboating some bitches. Living rent free on my titties.
I want to know if they cross nipples. Do they constantly inbreed continuously on the same person, or if you have somebody sleeping next to you, do you guys cross nipple mites?
Maybe that's why they have the two nipples.
I want to know.
To.
I want to know if they got little bugs living on their nipples too.
They breed on. They breed on the face so that they
Fractal.
don't end up in the same family.
Yeah, it's a
It's-
continuous universe going down of just bugs with things on their nipples.
It's
with more
fractal,
bugs
yeah.
with things on their nipples.
More bugs on nipples.
And then you go in microscopically, and then all of a sudden you expand to the bigger world, and then all of a sudden you're on a giant's nipples in outer space.
Just
that's
floating
the-
on a giant nipple.
You're just floating on a giant nipple, man.
Oh my god. Nope, this is not a matrix. It's just a giant nipple.
And the reason why space is dark is because our life cycle is way shorter than theirs, so we only live in their nighttime.
My god. Dude, we are figuring this all out now.
Fuck the giant space turtle, bro. We're on a giant man's
Crack the
nipples.
case.
Giant nipples.
Crack the case of the motorboating bugs.
Crack the sound of the universe, why it's a humming sound.
Oh my god. Motorboating.
From now on, when people say, "Hey, you hear that sound? What is that?" You can tell them, "Oh, that's just them bugs fucking on your forehead."
You gotta go and clean your face real quick. You didn't scrub hard enough.
The worst part is, I'm sure they didn't got a cleaner, so they're leaving their mess when they leave in the morning.
Oh
So
my god.
you have nipple mite semen on your face.
Little,
Oh,
little dead
God.
bug rubbers all over your forehead. You can't see. They just leave them laying around.
Oh my god.
Just imagine a Tommy Lee party, the after party aftermath, and that's just on your face 24/7 because nobody's there to clean it up. There's no maid service.
You guys, everyone needs to get a black light and check out their forehead in the morning in the dark.
You're just gonna see little spots of Kleenex all over your forehead.
Just wait for one to appear. You little bastard.
Oh my god. This is the last
Oh,
week you're living there. Man.
That's too much. Spooky's missing all the good stuff.
Yep, Spooky took off, man.
Is he out for the night?
No,
He'll come back in. No, he'll be back in. He takes care of his grandma, so at nighttime she's got some stuff that she's got to do before bed, so he takes off every now and then, comes back in.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, Arlene, it gives new meaning to exfoliate. It sure does.
That's sex foliating.
Sexfoliate. That's right.
Yep.
All over your face.
Everyone's gonna need a shower after this show, which is oddly common. Yeah. Feel so dirty after the chop shop. Yeah, micro Kleenexes.
Yeah, talk about a transition of conversation. We come in talking about Wendigo experiences and end with
Yeah.
face mites. Fucking.
You fit right in. Welcome to the chop shop.
Man, I was worried about the ones that lived on my eyelashes. I never dreamt there was some that fucking travel cross country to fuck on your face.
Yeah, man. They're very
That's been a
determined.
long journey if they're these little tiny things you can't see.
It almost makes you wonder if there's like little tiny like communities. There's like the male nipple and then like the female nipple, and they have to do this like rite of passage where they only get to do it once in their lifetime, or they travel to the face, which is like their pilgrimage, and then they just fuck.
You could do a whole cartoon about that.
A bukkake bug trip.
Oh my god.
Bukkake
Except the
bug
one getting
life.
bukkakeed is you.
Yeah, you're the loser in this situation.
That's what I meant. Do like a bukkake bug's life.
Bukkake Bug's Life, rated R. This one's not for the kids.
No.
$1 million idea. Don't let anybody steal it.
Oh
Probably
my
sell
God.
millions of copies in Japan, bro. They're into that weird shit.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. Lining up right now.
There you go, micro porn. You're opening up a whole new area. And then you can start getting into
Micro-porn?
like bacteria's fucking, and you'll just
Yeah.
look that up. Why not? You know, some people might get off to it. You know, people have gotten so weird with their stuff that anything normal can't really satisfy them anymore. So maybe what'll finally get them off will be microscopic organisms fucking.
We are onto something here. I mean, that is something that probably doesn't exist yet.
But then, man, you got to give it a couple years, and then it'll have to start getting weird, man. And then it'll start being microscopic organism anal, microscopic organism, anything weird you
man.
can think of. It'll just keep expanding, and then there'll be a microscopic organism, and then again going into that world within a world. You know, that won't be enough eventually, so you have to go into their nipple mites as microscopic organism porn.
Oh
And then you'll be
man,
into micro porn.
I can't even. That gets too far into depth. I can't even follow it now. micro porn.
And then
Micro
eventually it'll become
bukkake.
macro porn.
There we go. It'll just turn around and go right back to macro porn.
Yeah, and then we'll get into the giant, man's nipples that we're living on.
Oh my God.
I had to go wash my face.
He got bug bukkake.
I didn't just wash it; I bleached it.
That's right. Sorry, I look a little burnt. I poured gasoline on my face and lit it on fire. A new reason. Oh God, what is she saying? Lynn says a new reason to squeeze your nipple. Just trying to get rid of my little fucking friends. Yep. Just a little tiny guys.
At that point, you're just coming up with a reason to squeeze your
I'm gonna go
nipples.
help Deanna.
All right, man.
I'll be right back. Dylan's
Micro pornoscopy. Oh my God.
Is that micro porn that's about the microscopic bacteria that's up in your ass?
Oh my God. Join us next time, folks. You thought
As
they
we
were
film
just chilling.
porn while we're getting. I can't even fucking say it, man. While we're getting a colonoscopy. As you curve around a corner, there's just little microscopic organisms like a deer in headlights, like, oh.
I'm telling you,
Fuck
we
is
are
that?
writing. This is pure gold. I mean, we are writing pure gold here. It's the next cartoon for Eric. Been working on a cartoon over on Paranormal Highway. I think we're on episode 4 or 5 now, but yeah, we're gonna have to get into the microscopic porn next.
Please do. I got to see this before you post it, though. I want to be first access since I gave you the
Yeah.
idea.
This needs to get narrated, or what's that called? Where you make the pictures of it. I can't think.
Talk about voiceovering it.
Animated.
Yeah, animated. It needs
Oh, I
to
thought
get
you were doing
animated.
voiceover because then it would just be, probably 4 guys in a room making moaning sounds.
Yeah.
Oh my
Actually-
god,
You can put Jerry in there.
this guy's face is ugly. It's turning me off.
I think to get the proper sound, it would be more orgy-like. So you'd probably have to get like 30 people in a room just all making
Yeah.
different moaning sounds, and that'd be the perfect voiceover for
I have to
it.
get 30 of them going.
And then add that effect over it, so it's all done helium style. Just like
Yeah.
ah.
Oh my god.
Can I,
I
get
don't think
up?
I can finish
Oh,
on this
yeah.
guy's face. Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Man. Shane, you fit right in, I gotta say.
Dude, I'm laughing so hard I'm sweating.
That does happen. I don't think that's sweat though, if you know what I'm talking about.
In the
You know what I
right
mean?
areas.
I don't think that's sweat. I think that's the aftermath.
Maybe the aftermath of a totally different organism that goes to your crotch to fuck. And maybe that's why you feel wet all the time. It's not sweat, man. It's another organism.
We're learning here. You guys taking notes in chat? Yeah, Jeanette here. She says, "Oh boy, here we go." Yep, this is what always happens. This is what always happens. Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot. We do have a birthday in the chat, and I made something up while we were talking. So we want to say happy birthday to Lynn LeBlanc. Happy birthday.
Birthday.
Woo! Thanks for spending it with us on this beautiful Friday evening.
Yes, thank you, and happy birthday.
Yeah. Perfect. See, we got that out of the way.
Party hat.
This is the party, man. She's spending it with us. Sounds like Sonny's coming back.
I'm back.
Did you get done with your honey-do list?
Yeah, I had to shut the gate and get the dogs, and I'm done.
Feed the hog, wash the car.
No more hogs. They're all gone.
We have a
Squealers. They squeal on you every time.
They're about to be worth having again.
No,
Lindsay Pinzer. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the Chad Smith podcast.
Rasa wheat.
Appreciate you, Lindsay. You now have access to the the Smutcast that we can't figure out how to privatize. So everyone has access to that right now.
You got access to the after hours party here too when you signed up for.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're coming up on 2 hours, Sonny. We can do the we got to send out links for the after party. I know Enzo's getting one. Cassie's getting one. Ben's getting one.
Terry, I'm signing into mine right now to check, guys. I haven't been dropping my link tonight. I'm sorry, guys.
Actually, I think somebody's. I don't know. I saw Cassie. I think was.
Oh, what do you think, Cass? Yep, she's usually there when I'm slipping. She fixes it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cass. I'll check right now and see if anybody signed.
Oh,
up.
there's Enzo's dropping it too. Thanks, Enzo.
Thank you, Enzo.
Yeah, Shane.
Members. We just still got Zombie Tech Reviews, Terry Brown, and Deanna Conway. So Terry Brown, you'll be getting a link, and Zombie Tech Reviews, I think I have to email him one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a mass email list out because we've got Lindsay Pinzer, Kashi Chris, Janine Cox, Jeanette Sanchez, Melissa Nicole, Confucius or Confucius, Frank. We got Sarah, My Flock is everywhere. Terry Brown, Cassie from Oracles and Beyond. Kashi Chris again because she got confused. I'm gonna have to. She didn't need to sign up for both. Enzo Surreal, Jake Smith, Deanna Conway, and Rodney Posky are all members. So I'm gonna have to get you guys links.
I told Deanna she could cancel one of ours. I told her to cancel mine, actually, and she said no, she did it on purpose. I was like, I was just letting you know you don't have to have both.
Oh, thank you, Deanna, for being a member of both channels.
Man,
What is Simon saying? Unless Janetta's there, I want a baking show. Ooh, a baking show would be fun. Maybe we'll have to have Jeanette come on the channel and do a baking show once a week.
I get baked on this show every Friday.
That's right.
We're getting baked anyways. It is a baking show. What do you mean?
We've been baking the whole time we've been on here.
Fuck yeah, you know it.
Pretty sure there's been 5 joints rolled in the last 2 hours.
How else would we have gotten on to face fucking mites if it wasn't for the wonderful thing
Exactly.
called marijuana?
Yeah, that's where our inspiration comes from. Otherwise, this
little
would be
other,
very boring.
Fun fact about myself, if anybody was curious, I also work in a medical grow, so I grow weed all day.
Yes, that's why you fit in so well here, man.
That's why I was trying to message you earlier, and I was like, man, I don't mean to reply so late, but like, I wear gloves at work. They get sticky as shit, obviously, from working with plants. So it's like, I don't want to touch my phone.
Dude, I told Spooky that earlier, and Spooky was like, I want to smell his fingers.
Dude, those gloves get so caked, dude. I could probably chisel that shit off and smoke it as like straight hash.
Ooh.
Finger hash.
Yeah, I used to know people that would take those gloves and put them in the freezer. They'd have had a freezer ball or a glove ball in the freezer.
Yeah, it's like shoe hash. If you guys ever used to make that shit,
Mm.
it keeps getting mashed together, so you end up creating your own hash like by accident.
Oh wow. That's
Also,
cool.
too, the company I work for, It's called Gage, but it grows cookies. So I also get to grow cookies.
You work for
Shane, so it's
Gage?
pretty sweet. Yep.
Oh boy, they're a big name here in Michigan.
Yeah, I was gonna say I forgot you're from Michigan. Yeah, I was technically their first hourly employee.
Really?
Yep.
We're gonna have to have you on do an interview about Gage.
Yeah, I've been there for 3 years, man. And
Oh,
I
sweet.
tend to be on the side of ranting about how I think corporatizing weed is ruining it, but
hmm
might take a totally different direction from what most people expect. But I was one of those people that was making my money off of the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as it became legal, I went from, let's see, I pretty much worked a job so that I could sell there because I was making more selling to the people that worked there than actually working there. So that was like my main source of income. Everything became legal. Everybody was like, oh, I have a friend that has a dispo card. Couldn't sell it anymore. So,
Yep.
I switched teams because I didn't really have any other choice if I wanted to keep doing what I was doing. So,
Right. And it's fun too, relaxing.
yeah. I mean, the corporate side of it is trash. The grow that I work at in particular, where like the smallest grow, made
Mhm.
just by people because they went through and fired a bunch of people. There's only like 4 of us
Yeah,
there right
but-
now. But
If the legality is a problem, there's other illegal shit you can sell and probably make a profit on.
oh, that's a whole other field that I could get into too if you guys are into mycology. Because I definitely hop shipped and got into something else. But the problem with that now is that they're decriminalizing that in Michigan. So
Mhm.
now I do fancier versions of that stuff. And everybody's like, why would I buy that when I can buy this for this price? And everybody's growing the basic, golden teachers, not understanding that like Enigma is way stronger and a totally different thing. So like that got put on the back burner for now. But, good old
Lot of-
Michigan with their decriminalizing and legalizing shit. Everybody's
Mhm.
pro it, but everybody that's on the other side's like, fuck this shit, bro. Come on now.
Right. Stop legalizing stuff, man.
Dude, I get so many people that come up and they're like, will try to talk about mycology with me, and like they are like, oh yeah, they started turning blue, so I just threw them away because I thought they were bad, and I'm just like, god damn it, like, why did you even start doing this if you didn't know what the blue meant? Like,
Right.
that's
Like I
what
don't
the
even know what
market's
I'm
getting
doing.
flooded with is people that have no idea what the fuck they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not hard to figure out, man. I went on the internet and I learned that shit off shroomery.com. Like, it's doable.
Right. Yeah, like I don't even know what I'm doing, and I know that blue is good.
Yeah, that's how you know it's good. The
Blue is
faster
part
it
of the
brews is
game.
blue, the stronger it is, man. Because mushrooms bruise, and that's the psilocybin. So, like, if you squeeze that shit and it turns blue right away, you know it's a good mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Browndorf knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm taking
Go
them a few
Browndorf.
times. We did it live. We did it live one night
We did.
just to see if we could do it. And he was telling me, I don't know how the fuck you're doing this show, cuz. Then he started laughing so hard he had to leave. And
Oh, I remember that.
he left. He just-
Was that New Year's?
I've gone to the other side of the shop over there several times to regroup, come back, gather composure, and roll back in front of everybody. And then I would basically talking to myself in my head about what the fuck I think is going on in everybody else's head, and I would start laughing and take off
There was-
again.
there was a bunch of people in here. And he said,
Hmm.
I feel like that guy's staring at me. I said, they're all staring at you, cuz.
They're all staring at you. Even the
Specific-
gremlins.
I
Yeah.
felt like Chad was looking at me, and Chad knew I had taken mushrooms. But how the fuck could Chad know I took mushrooms? He lives in Michigan.
Because Chad's on mushrooms too.
As
Oh,
soon
that
as
blew
I
his
would
mind when I
think
told him that.
As soon as I would think that, he would like grin or something, and I was like, "This
Mhm.
motherfucker is there. He knows."
He's picking up on my vibes.
I was telling Amanda, I was like, "He knows, huh?" And she was like,
I told Billy that. I told him. And that's when I told him. And guess what? Chad's on him too. He goes, no. And then that's when he started laughing uncontrollably. And,
Yep.
and he had to leave.
Oh, that's Mickey.
I went to play pool. That was pretty neat.
Wait, that same night?
Yeah,
The
that's
balls
what
Oh,
as soon as I left here. I went to the bar to play pool.
on shrooms with all those people around? I couldn't. No.
The cue stick was going. I would put it forward to shoot, and it would go. "Whirl." I put my hand on the table and like
Lucky you weren't trying to
2-foot
spank it.
section of the table would drop down a little bit.
That's bizarre, man. Geometry's just not making sense tonight.
And other times I walk up to the table to shoot and I could see exactly where the ball was going to go. Like,
Oh,
it was
that's
weird.
crazy.
It was really, really weird. I kept going back and forth to I can't trust anything I'm seeing right now to everything is specific and precise and bam, there it is. It was pretty neat. I liked it.
I think it's Rogan that talks about that, either weed or mushrooms that he takes before he plays pool.
He never
I
even,
smoke weed, but
he
I
never
play
even
all the
made
time.
it out of the front yard. I went and checked on him. He was just sitting in his car going,
He's sitting there with the Wish.com dildo going like this in the car. Man, this is a great game. He's not even drinking
What is he
beer. He's
doing?
drinking gasoline from the back of the car, thinking that the car was the bartender. He's like, "Oh, I guess I can just pour my own, eh?"
Just leave him alone. He's having a good time.
Amanda knew better to leave me unattended too.
Oh, Brown Door's got some gummies. Happy Friday. Hell yeah, dude.
That's what I'm about to get into as soon as we wrap up on the end of this show, man. I got a couple waiting for me.
Oh,
Try to
hell
get to
yeah.
that good level of stones, because otherwise I start getting spacey, and then I feel like I'm like just lost half the show. I
Yep.
got to do the little touch of stone so that your mind starts thinking a little bit different, but not too far gone.
I hear you there, dude. There's a fine line.
Not that I really ever get too stoned. It's just like too stoned to have a like good solid
Conversation.
conversation, you know?
Yep.
Like I'm always comfortable, but there's like just too stoned for talking.
Sometimes it's just like, what did you say, man?
I've made
Be in
some
the middle of a
brownies.
thought and miss it.
What are we talking about?
I've made some brownies that was you were too stoned. You were
Went
too
too far.
high for too long too, for like 12 hours. It was a good 10 or 12 hour trip.
Spooky,
Dude,
you
there
mess
was
around
one
with
time-
edibles? Oh, you're muted. Sorry, buddy.
Muted, Spooky.
Yep, I got a whole bunch of edibles.
Hell yeah.
Dude, there was one time I made these Rice Krispie treats, but I put so much butter in them that they turned green. And my girlfriend's cousin and I were so stoned that apparently I left my keys to my Jeep on the tailgate of my Jeep. And then I came inside. She was taking pictures, apparently. Him and I were sitting on opposite sides of the couch, and she did like a time lapse. And it was like an hour later, both of us were sleeping with our feet up on each other's chests. And I don't remember any of it happened. She was just like watching us sink and taking pictures as it happened.
Hey, man, I'm really comfortable, man.
Dude, have you ever eaten so many edibles that you like your body doesn't move properly? Like, there's been a few times that I've eaten like 200-300, and it almost is like that drunken feeling where you like move your arm, but it's like a 2-second delay. You're like, all
Yep.
right, I just moved my arm.
on dial up.
Pretty
Dial
much.
up speed.
I made some of those strong brownies and took them to a buddy of mine named Bear, and he called me and said, "You got any weed?" And I said, "Nope." All I got is these brownies, and he's like, "Fucking bring one over." And I told him, "Dude, they're really strong." And he laughed at me, and I said, "Yeah, you laughing now? But these things are strong." So we get there and we eat some brownies, and my other buddy, we call him Peaches, or Big Daddy. he's a big guy, and he's short like me. But he gets, after my buddy has ate this brownie and me and him are both really high, I knew what was coming. He kind of didn't. He just thought he was eating a regular old brownie. I mean, a weed brownie. He didn't know it was going to be that strong. And this guy gets a spree. You know those little Honda fucking
Like a moped?
smaller than a moped, and they're electric. This one's electric.
Oh.
He's riding this thing around, and he's a big dude. And then my buddy Bear disappears. And then I start worrying because he's gone for like 10 minutes and I can't find him. And I'm not walking around looking for him, but he ain't came back. And I was thinking, oh, he's way too high to be wandering off. So I see the trailer door kind of swing a little bit on the horse trailer.
Mhm.
He's standing behind it and he's fucking bawling, crying and can't breathe. And I go over there and he tells me, "You got to go get, Peaches off that fucking moped because I can't take it." He goes, "I'm going to fucking die. I can't look at him and I can't breathe, dude. I can't." He was
Jeez.
laughing so hard that he couldn't breathe. So he went and hid behind the trailer because he was crying. He didn't want no one to see him crying.
Just don't look, man.
They're horrible, dude. And then this shit don't go away for like, you take it at 10 o'clock in the morning, you're going to be high till 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, really?
Feel that like
Yes.
ambient high too. Even when you're not fully high, you still kind of like feel it in the background though too.
Yep.
For me, the most I've ever got, somebody I know makes the extractions and whatnot. He gave me some oil. I fried 2 eggs and 2 hash browns. I figured hash browns are good because they'll absorb all that oil up. Yada yada. Tasted good. I was stoned for 3 days. Lingered, like it would not go away. Because I pretty much put as
That's
much
too
oil.
much.
I got it. He gave it to me and was like, "Here, this is real strong." Edibles usually don't hit me real good, so I figured I would try to find what I can make real quick that's gonna absorb as much as I can get it to absorb, and I got it. Taught me a lesson.
I teach you a lesson.
Have you guys ever heard of the Star of Death? They're supposed to be like 1,000-gram
Death Stars.
gummy. Yeah, that's what it was. That was in like Cali or some shit.
Joey
They stopped
Diaz.
making them, man. I wish I would have got a hold of one of those things. Like, I feel like that at that point, bro, would have felt like you probably ate like a quarter of mushrooms.
Yeah, dude, that's what Joey Diaz used to eat on his podcast all the time. Him and Lee Syatt used to take them, and they'd be like half asleep. Well, Lee would actually fall asleep during the podcast. He'd just sit there. It's like, oh my god, dude,
The
aren't you the producer?
the cool thing about being me and this guy's age right here is, shit, I think it was 90, I'd say 1990. When you got weed, it was just weed. Bomb didn't exist. All right. Bomb hit Easton. I had the first sack of that shit. Brought it into Easton, in one of the town I live in. Didn't know what it was. And the guy that grows the stuff sent it to me. So I'm thinking I'm getting a fucking bag, of weed. And I got a fucking bag of weed like this big. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Uh-oh.
Oh,
He blacked out.
this has
I know
never
what-
happened
That
before.
story. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's weird.
so I get this weed, and my dad tells me, hey, don't fucking smoke a joint of that weed. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, you can't smoke a whole joint of this weed. I was like, yeah, okay, old man. So, and it looked like, well, it looks like our bomb does now. And weed didn't look like that back then. It was all frosty and white crystals and just good ass weed. And so I pack, the first time I smoke it, I pack up a bowl of a sneaker toke. So it's a big ass bowl that holds like 3 joints. I pack this bowl up. Me and my buddy are going to smoke this weed. Back then, Billy didn't smoke too much weed. He would, but it was a 50-50 thing with him. Like he would either, he wasn't always going to smoke it like he does now. And so he comes over right when we get this bowl packed. And I forgot about the chair. And we got this big ass wicker chair. You know those big circle wicker chairs with the big old pad in it? Looks like a turtle shell. But
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's one of those. Hey, so I tell Billy, hey, we're getting ready to smoke this new weed. It's supposed to be something special. Do you want to smoke it? Billy says, yeah. And it's I'm on a couch with one of my other buddies sitting next to me, and in the middle of us, we got a bag of Oreos. And I tell Billy, you want some cookies? And Billy says, no, I don't want no cookies. Fire fucking weed. So I start smoking this weed. I pass it to Billy. He passes it to my buddy Steve. It gets back to me, and we might have hit on it 3 times a piece. And I don't think we emptied it. We got so fucking high, dude. We never seen weed like that before.
Never heard of this shit before.
Out. My buddy, we got the TV on. It's down kind of low, and he just starts hitting me. He's tapping me, And I look at him and I go, "What?" And he goes, "Dude, something wrong with Billy." And I look over at Billy, and he's stuck in that fucking wicker chair.
Like a turtle on his back.
But he's crying though. This was the kicker, and you don't want to tell me what he wants. That was the best part. And I go, "What's wrong, cuz? What the fuck?" Yeah, like he couldn't. He's crying, and I go, "What the fuck's wrong? What do you want, Billy?" And he's still like this, and he goes, "I want a cookie." Here's where my buddy Steve falls on the floor, and that was another one that was begging me to make him stop laughing. Like I had power over to make him quit laughing, and he's fucking crying. And then my wife came home, and his girlfriend was with him. Was his wife now? She's yelling at me and telling me like, "What'd you do to him?" I go, "I didn't do anything." He's laughing. That's why he's crying. He's not hurt. He's gonna die if you don't stop.
He gonna be dead real soon.
Dude, you got to start doing a seance and just scare the shit out of him next time. You're like, all right, I got you. And then just be like, start like dancing around him and shit.
Oh, we got.
That'll do it.
There ain't no next time. I don't get that high no more. That's the only kind of weed I smoke.
Dude, there's this time that I did LSD with some friends, and we called it the giggle loop, but we all legitimately would laugh so hard that we would start crying. And when this would happen, we would like completely just forget anything that was happening. And we'd come into the situation just like not even having any remembrance of like anything that previously happened. And we're all trying to figure out if we were crying or laughing because we honestly couldn't tell. And each time this progressed, that one person would start laughing and then all of us would start laughing. And then we'd laugh so hard again that we'd cry and then we'd all forget while we were laughing. That my one buddy and I were starting to get paranoid and thought we were stuck in a time loop. So we started like moving objects and shit. And I was trying to break the loop so we could stop laughing. And there's one up until like 7 o'clock in the morning. And my one buddy has like this thing where he kind of like breathes kind of uneven sometimes. So he's like raspy. So every time he'd like go to breathe and start getting raspy, the other buddy and I would think he was laughing. We would start laughing. Then he would start laughing. So every single time he was just trying to breathe, man, we'd all start the giggle loop back up again.
The first time I see Billy smoke weed was out of a pipe. At my house with some girl, we'll say, and she's holding the pipe for him, I think. She's lighting it for him. I don't know what I did, but it made him laugh. And as soon as he was hitting it, it was like
Shot like a cannon.
the weed just shot out lit across the floor as soon as he hit it with water behind it. Whoosh. And that girl's face, because it was like the last of the weed, she was going, "No." Oh,
Bro, I used to have one buddy. We used to smoke bowls. This was back like when I was probably like 18 or so. He used to get so stoned that he'd light up a cigarette and he'd just be sitting there ashing it on himself. And we'd be like, "Bro, you good?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm good." He just have like a pile of ash on his chest.
Oh my god.
And then another friend pretty close to that, I used to have this little baby bong we used to drive around and smoke within the car. The dude got so stoned one day, he was looking at it. He wanted to see what the bowl looked like on the inside. So it's full of water, and he just goes, dumps it all over his face and all over the car, and he's just looking around like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, "Bro, you just dumped the bong on yourself. What the hell is wrong with you?"
What just happened, man?
Like, those are some of those people, man, that shouldn't smoke that much weed, you know? That it's like, you're still chilling, and they're just, like, fucking gone.
Right. Like, dude, you're not even in the same room as us right now.
I don't even think he knew he was in a car. He probably thought he was in a damn spaceship.
Oh.
Only smoke on like special occasions when somebody had some really good stuff for a reason or whatever. So I would get way blown out of my head and not smoke again for 8 months.
That's the way to go, man. You got to kill that tolerance. You never even have a chance to build it up.
And
Yeah,
I
just
didn't like it much. I was a drinker, you know, and I got my back just got screwed up so much that I didn't want to take so many pain pills. I started smoking weed.
Yep.
yeah,
Well,
my
yeah,
bad.
and
I had an excuse.
you always hear a lot of people say too that they just get sick of hangovers. It's like, oh, I just switched. Just got sick of the hangovers and just wanted something different.
Honestly, I have always kind of smoked weed. I had like a phase where like I used to drink ridiculously. I was a bit of an alcoholic for a while, and I pretty much switched back over to weed, and part of that has to do with the fact of like rationalizing in my head that like I don't want to deal with hangovers, bro. I'd rather just be able to smoke something and wake up refreshed the next day.
Have
Yep.
you
100%.
ever seen anything high and had to rationalize that to yourself? Like maybe one of the like shadow people or something, and then you have to say, no, that was the cat walking in front of that light. I
Dude,
can't deal with this right now. It wasn't.
Dude, there's been a few times that I haven't fully like smoked DMT or gotten fully into that realm, but I've like taken like I guess micro hits of LSD or not of LSD of DMT. And there's been some weird shit where like all my cats will be looking in one direction. I'll look over there and I'll see like faces and shit like that. And I'm just like, damn, bro, like, is that there? Is it not there? Are my cats just being weird? Am I just making shit up? Or is there something
Whoa.
fucking there and my cats can see it and I can see it because I'm somewhat on the same vibration as them? Because cats can see some shit, bro.
Dude, that's
I'd be like, come on, meow. Oh shit, did I say
come on,
that?
meow.
Did I say meow?
Stop staring at that meow.
Stop saying meow right now.
I'm turning into a cat.
Right meow.
God damn it, meow.
Goddamn meow. Now you stop saying meow right meow.
Goddamn you. Meow.
Meow.
Meow. Dude, I
Yes,
swear I got
alcohol is
onto this on
dangerous.
another show recently that we're all trying to do the meow thing.
The meow.
And it was like
Oh.
a good 10 minutes of the show where everybody was just dropping meow every time they were saying it.
Are you trying to say meow?
Are you hitting on me right meow?
My new thing that I've been doing around here is asking a question, and as soon as you go to answer it, I say, "What?" Before you gonna. I love it. It's funny.
All right, now settle down, meow.
Dorsey.
Well, guys, we went over 2 hours. Do you want to end this bitch and take it backstage?
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
we
don't your
better
normal
get the
shows
party
run about an
started.
hour?
2 hours here.
Yeah, usually 2 hours on Fridays.
Oh, okay. So that's about average then.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, we're
Yeah.
really going over your guys' normal.
Yeah, we really going over.
You're welcome to hang out for the party too, man.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we usually go offline and then have a little chop shop after party for anyone listening that's a member of the Chad Smith podcast or the Paranormal Chop Shop. If you guys are members on the Buy Me a Coffee, I did send out the link on Buy Me a Coffee. So I think you either have to go on the app or on the website and go to the Chad Smith podcast, however that works on there, and then I put a message under the posts. So one of them, it does say September 24th, Chop Shop After Party with a link. You just click on the StreamYard link and you come in. Most of you guys know how that works. If anybody else is interested in that, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/chop shop or /Chad Smith PC and purchase a $2 subscription. And $2 or $5 gets you into the Chop Shop After Party.
Yep, either one of them.
So, yeah, before we get going, Shane, if you could just plug all your stuff, like your YouTube channel, if you have one, or your Instagram. I know all the stuff's in the description below.
Well, I guess
but-
I'll just make it a little bit easier. I usually put everything under Linktree, so you can just find everything for each thing that I do all under that. I guess I can say it out loud. If you're looking for Inquiries of Our Reality, LANKTR.EE/Inquiries of Our Reality podcast. I got a merch store. I got, all the social media, all the different feeds, all that fun stuff. So come check it out. If you want to check out my other show I do, Bizarre Encounters, the first episode, like I was saying, just came out today. But we got a lot of cool stuff coming in the future. So, come and check that one out. And you can say you're one of the people that listened to it from the beginning, I guess. LANKTR.EE/Bizarre Encounters. Also got some merch there. And if you want to check out Open Minds Media, LANKTR.EE/open_minds_media.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, we're definitely going to have you back. You fit in just like we've known you forever.
That's right,
Yeah.
man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys having me on today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anytime you want to hang out, you let us know. We'll book you back.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
I have to do it the other way, too. You guys will have to pop on some of my shows, too.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I'm down, man. Yeah, that'll be fun.
I think you guys would have a lot of fun on Big Dumb Inquiries.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, invite us. And our schedules are kind of all over the place, but I'm sure we can fit something in.
I'll take one of you guys at a time.
There you go.
We'll
Edit us
make it
in
work.
like Photoshop. We're all together.
As far as you know.
That's right. Well, thanks, dude, for hanging out with us, and we'll definitely have you back.
I appreciate it, man. Looking forward to it.
All right, thanks, bro. You can hang out backstage, and we'll party with you in a little bit here if you feel like it.
Yeah, man. Just hang out.
Spooky,
And,
do you have anything to announce for next week
You know,
or this coming week?
I actually do not have anything to announce right now, but I appreciate you asking.
Okay. Well,
Thanks again to Shane, man. Shane, thank you. And everyone go over and subscribe to his channel. It's been dropped down here in the link. The link's been dropped in the chat.
yeah, check out that link tree.
Yep.
It's in the chat, and it's also in the description of the video.
That's right.
And one more time, happy birthday to Lynn LeBlanc.
Happy birthday, Lynn.
I'm so glad that you spent your special day here with us on the Chop Shop. And yeah, as long as nobody else has anything else, I think that's all I got.
I guess I could give Lynn LeBlanc a Christmas present or a birthday present.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's going to get naked.
What's it going to be? I'm scared. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Lynn.
Happy birthday, Lynn.
She's definitely one of the most loyal, regular watchers and listeners that we've had.
Yep.
And we just love Lynn LeBlanc so much.
How you going to take us out tonight with that phone?
Yeah, dude, we got a new outro.
That's right.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you Tuesday morning for another episode of the Chad Smith Podcast. See you guys. Love you.
Yo.
Peace.
Thank y'all.